Boom. That's better. Yes, welcome to Wrestling Days Live. We are live for NXT and AEW. And we've got a pretty stacked Wednesday night. We're actually getting Jericho against Orange Cassidy. So we are going to be getting that match. Obviously, we've been building towards that match for a little while now. So that's going to be a lot of fun. As well as that, we've got Cameron Grimes taking on Kushida. It's always great to see Kushida. So Cameron Grimes against Kushida, taking on a mystery partner over on NXT. So I'm not too sure as to who that's going to be. I haven't even heard any rumors as to who that's going to be. So I'm very interested to find out as to who that's going to be. Yeah, we've got that match coming up. We've got Johnny Gargano, Candice LeRae at home. So we've got a little segment starring them. We've got an alert going off. Jack Unboxes 07. Shout out to you, my friend. Welcome. It's a good time to become a member, actually, because we are doing a members-only stream tomorrow. We did one last week, and we are doing another one tomorrow. So welcome, Jack Unboxes 07. You get access to all of those Wrestling Days emojis, the little logo next to your name, and of course, you can join us on that members-only stream tomorrow. We are also doing a public stream tomorrow. Tomorrow we are doing, I think it's SummerSlam 2005. I need to have a look and see what the latest poll is saying, but I'm pretty sure it's SummerSlam 2005. So, yeah, I think we've got that coming up as well. Nick Reeder, shout out to you, dude. Nick Reeder says, have you seen the new TNT Championship? It debuts tonight and it looks amazing. I've not seen it, what it looks like. No, not yet. I mean, I can jump on and have a look if they've put pictures out. I think that's a shame if they've done that. That was actually one of the things I had written down, was that we were going to see that new championship belt tonight. So, yeah, that's a bit shame if they've already leaked pictures online. But yeah, whatever. It's not the biggest deal in the world, is it? I will try and check that out in a second. Gaming in Real Time says, Daze, what a week it has been. Start of the week was manic. Past 24 hours, things have kind of settled down. But COVID has returned to New Zealand. I did hear this. For now, I'm not going to think about it. I think it's still relatively low-key in New Zealand, so I don't think there's anything you need to worry too much about. Of course, you know, just stay safe, and that goes for everyone around the world. That's great. Non-member stream tomorrow, yes. I can confirm SummerSlam has won, says Chalmers. Amazing. There we go. So it is SummerSlam 2005. That's not a members-only stream. Just so you know, that is open to anyone and everyone. So tomorrow we're doing a members-only stream. That'll be about an hour. That'll be at 6 Eastern. And then at 7 Eastern, there is a public stream. And that will be, according to Chalmers, SummerSlam 2005. Roger, welcome, Roger. Roger is a supporter of the channel as well. Roger McCollment. Shout out to you, my friend. Welcome to Roger. As I said, a good time to join. So, shout out to you, dude. Thank you for the support. Let me just finish typing this up because I was literally in the middle of doing this as the stream was meant to start. And I was like, I'm running out of time. So, I did go live. But, yeah, I am still just typing out the tweet just to let people know that we are live. People should know by now. We do go live at the same time every week. So I would hope that people are aware. But better to be safe than sorry. I don't want all those people going, I didn't know you was live. YouTube didn't send them notifications again because it is quite a specialist at messing around with that. Actually, whilst I'm on Twitter as well, I can see that WrestleVotes, this tweet came out an hour ago. WrestleVotes, good news, bad news. SummerSlam will not take place in the Performance Center. Good news. Bad news, no fans in attendance. There will be no fans in attendance at SummerSlam this year, which I don't think is the biggest surprise. I know that they wanted fans, But we've been saying that the rumours have been for a while now that there'll be no fans. But that's seemingly confirmed now by WrestleVotes. They're saying that they're still looking at the Northeast, but that is not 100% confirmed that that is going to be where it's going to be. But Northeast, again, as we've spoken about, is being looked at. Right, let me just quickly blast through all the matches and blast through everything we've got coming up, because we've got, as we said, a stacked show. And I just want to make sure I get this information out there. And then I will jump into the chat. So shout out to famous KJ Carter. There's Jessamine Duke is going to win the triple threat match, says Charlie. Right, here we go. So on NXT, we've got Cameron Grimes taking on Kushida, taking on a mystery partner. I've not heard who that mystery partner is. If you think you know who that mystery person is in that triple threat, so Cameron Grimes versus Kushida versus a mystery person, if you know who that is, then feel free to let us know, because I've not heard anything. We've got Gargano and Candice, another at-home segment. Adam Cole and Pat McAfee, their feud is continuing, of course. Santos Escobar is taking on Tyler Breeze. This is a non-title match for the Cruiserweight Championship, or Interim Cruiserweight Championship. Santos Escobar against Tyler Breeze. Karrion Kross against Danny Burch. Bronson Reed against Damian Priest. Okay, so that's everything that's advertised for NXT. Over on AEW, we've got Cody versus Scorpio Sky, and the TNT Championship is finished, apparently, so we'll see if I can find images of that. Kenny and Hangman versus Jurassic Express. We've got Jericho and versus Orange Cassidy. We've got the Dark Order taking on the Young Bucks, and we've got FTR Tag Team Appreciation Night. So here is the championship then. So I don't know if these, well, I mean, look, he's posing with it. The TNT Championship, and I mean, I'm trying to find an image that's going to actually, I suppose that's the best way to show you. So here we go. This is the finished championship. So the one at the bottom is the belt that we obviously know and don't love. And then the one at the top is the finished one. You can see it's got more of a shine to it. It's gold rather than silver. It's got a more reflective center plate. A little bit more, I don't know if it's detail work around the outside or if it's just they've just brought it out more. But there you go. That is the finished AEW TNT Championship. No denying that is an improvement on what we've seen before. I think the TNT letters really do stand out on that very shiny, reflective background. But still an awful, awful belt. There's no two ways about it. Still an awful belt. That's not like a drastic change. I don't know. I'd have to have a look close up, but it's better. I'll give it that. It's better. But you can see the one below. I mean, it couldn't have got much worse. But there we go. They have shined it up. Someone's gone and bought some polish, and they've put a bit of gold on it. So there we go. I mean, what I will say is, just having a look, I do think there is a bit more detailing around the side. It's definitely better. I'm not going to deny that it's definitely not better, but I don't know. From the moment I saw it, I wasn't a massive fan. I like a lot of detail on a belt, and this has certainly got some detail, but still think it's a rubbish belt. The chat is smaller than usual. Yeah, we've been moving it around a little bit. I don't know why, but on some of our streams, the chat is really big, and then on some of the other streams, it's really small. So we do keep changing the size of the chat, but hopefully it's still readable. Elder Sour says, wow, that's the best they could do. Sad. Shout out to you, Elder Sour. Hope you are well, my friend. I hope life is treating you well. Yeah, Yeah, I kind of agree. I mean, for me, I was hoping that when they finished it, I think they've definitely improved it. I'm not down on the work they've done, but I was looking for more detail, and for me, it's just it's better, but it needed to be a lot better. Great card tonight. Chalmers says, I've tagged you in some of the pictures that AEW have put out. Shout out to WWE Inside Access Wrestling. Daze, maybe the surprise person could be Ciampa or Pete Dunne or maybe Volta. I honestly don't know where we are with the UK thing, because I don't know if they're doing international flights now, so I think that's why you've not had Volta, and it's why you've not had Pete Dunne. It's also why we've not had Jordan Devlin come over, although I think Jordan Devlin got a bit caught up in the whole hashtag speaking out thing. And when I say a bit caught up, that's only because I can't quite remember. But it seemed to there was, when that speaking out thing was happening, there was some very damning evidence and, you know, some big statements that were being made. And then seemingly there was a few names getting added to those lists that when you were like asking people, why is that person been added? No one seemed to know. Like, it just, I don't know, it started to spiral a little bit. So, obviously very serious. I'm not undermining how serious the speaking out movement was, but equally I am saying that I can't remember what Jordan Devlin was accused of doing, but I seem to recall his name being on some of those lists that did the rounds. So, yeah, I don't know where we are. I don't know where we are with talent coming over from Europe. I would think what with where coronavirus is in the States at the moment, it's probably still on lockdown. So I'm going to lean towards not Pete Dunne or Jordan Devlin or Volta. I'm going to lean towards... I've got a feeling it's going to be pretty unspectacular. I'd love for it to be like a Kevin Owens or something like that, but I've just got a feeling it's going to be something pretty bland. Do you know what I mean? I can't even think of a name that would be that bland. I'm trying to think of people that have been in takeovers that could appear, and I can't think. Maybe has Drake Maverick had a chance? Maybe it'll be Drake Maverick. Maybe Drake Maverick's gonna return after getting beaten up by Santos Escobar, and Drake Maverick might end up being... I can see it someone being on that level, you know. Days, Clarissa Shield versus Amanda Nunes in 2021. I think it'll be Ciampa, says Wrestling Days fan. Ciampa would be good. The only thing with Ciampa is that he seems to be teasing that he's going to the main roster. So if he gets added to this, I mean, I suppose he could still go. It could be that he wrestles here at TakeOver and then goes to the main roster on, say, Monday Night Raw or the Friday SmackDown following SummerSlam. You do get the feeling that SummerSlam's going to be a bit of a tide change. You do get the feeling that there's going to be some real movement, some big things are going to go down. That's the vibe I'm getting. I just get the feeling that what with Retribution around, you kind of feel like there's going to be a payoff around SummerSlam. I'm not saying they're going to reveal themselves, but they're going to play a big part because this is a big story. And also, you know, question marks about what next for Adam Cole. I could see Adam Cole getting called up. I just think he's too big of a talent to not go to that main roster, to not be competing at WrestleMania and having those killer matches against Seth Rollins and AJ Styles. They need talent up there. They need some big names. With no Roman Reigns around, Becky on the shelf, Charlotte on the shelf. You know, I mean, there's a lot of Brock Lesnar not around, John Cena not around, Undertaker obviously not around. There's a few names that aren't about at the moment. And obviously, you know, recent times John Moxley went. Did they really replace John Moxley? Did they replace Jericho? I don't know. Who got called up and took them spots? I don't know that anyone did. I mean, I remember like Aleister Black coming up, but what have they done with him? And Ricochet coming up, but what have they done with him? I don't know. I feel like there's a lot of movement that needs to happen. We are in a desperate, dire need to shake things up and to have a draft. So apparently there is one on the way that's going to be later this year. So yeah, I kind of feel like SummerSlam's going to be a big event. I mean, that's a no-brainer. We've already spoke about the fact they're trying to get it outside. I think they don't want it in the Performance Center. They want it to have a different feel, but you would think they've probably got a few plans, a few things that they want to do, so... the B Tazzy Tailgate and After Party. What, is that on tonight, is it? Monica King, shout out to you. What brand do you like better? I haven't really got a favourite. I just kind of go from week to week. I've said so many times that Wednesdays are like my least favourite streams, which is a bit strange because, like, you can argue the wrestling is better on a Wednesday, but having to try and watch 2 shows at the same time is not the easiest thing in the world. And there's always a few things that kind of pass me by as a result, because I'll be watching one show when something's happening on the other and, you know, stuff like this. So I kind of feel like both shows have got potential, and I kind of feel like both shows have had great moments and absolutely horrific moments. Like, both shows are capable of anything on that scale. So, yeah, we'll have to see. I mean, going into tonight, I'm probably more excited for AEW because I think they've been building up Jericho and Orange Cassidy for quite a while. And so we're actually going to get the payoff there. Of course, I was quite excited for seeing the new AEW Championship, which is why I'm really surprised they've already put the pictures out on social media. I would have thought that would have been something people might have tuned in for. Well, let's see what they've done with that belt. Or perhaps they think it's a bit underwhelming, and so they're kind of like, oh, let's just show them now, because we don't want people tuning in all excited and then they see it and it's not that much different. It is better. I'm going to keep coming back to the fact that it is better. But it's not that much different. So, I don't know. I'm surprised. I'm surprised that they've done that. And also, it is the FTR Tag Team Appreciation Night. So, I think that could be a lot of fun. They do a very good job of honouring the legends. And I'm expecting to see some legends tonight. I think they advertised, like, the Rock and Roll Express. Maybe the Midnight Express. Can't remember. I'm sure they've said there was a few tag teams that would be on the show tonight. Raw needs NXT talent more. Ciampa might wind up there because Randy really wants a match with him. Well, yeah. I mean, even if Ciampa doesn't go up there permanently, you'd have to think that he'll have a little run at some point. I know that Ciampa's been very vocal about not wanting to go to the main roster, but I've said it before and I'll say it again. I don't know how much of a choice they've got. I know that wrestlers have got quite a strong hand at the moment because WWE can't really make them do things they don't want to do, because they could go to AEW. There's no way WWE wants to see Ciampa go into AEW, but it all depends on how long his contract is. It all depends on, you know, if they can convince him and all of this. So I do understand that he's got a slightly stronger hand than usual. But equally, I just don't know if you can turn around to Vince and say, I don't want to go to Raw and SmackDown, and for him to actually listen and care. I don't know that he's going to actually care what you want if you was a wrestler. NXT is there to develop you so that you go to the other brands. Now, I understand that that's changed a little bit because now it's going head-to-head with AEW, but you don't get as many NXT matches at WrestleMania. You don't get paid as much money on NXT. NXT does not give you as much exposure as Raw and SmackDown. I don't know what they're going to do in regards to, like, European tours and traveling around the world when they do their big shows in Saudi. There's not loads of NXT guys that go. When they go to, you know, do big shows like they did in Australia, there wasn't many NXT people that went there. And when they do their European tours, we don't get loads of NXT people coming over. They tend to rely a bit on NXT UK talent, give them a bit of a showcase. So this is what I'm saying. There's a lot that goes with moving to Raw and SmackDown. And honestly, if the company needs Ciampa, can he turn around and say no? I don't know. I don't know is the answer. I'd think it'd be very difficult for him to do that and for Vince to actually care. Chris DeZuba said, I heard there's a masked wrestler that falls off bookcases. Oh, hello. That sounds like gimmick infringement to me. That sounds like someone's encroaching on my property. That's my gimmick. It's the only gimmick I've got. I hope the mystery opponent will be Bo Dallas. That would be fun. That would be really fun. I'd really be down for that. I don't know if it would help them with the ratings, to be honest. I mean, it'd be really cool if it was someone like Cesaro. Do you know what I mean? Someone that just gets put in to make sure the match is amazing. Just a killer talent. Someone that's just incredible in the ring. That would be great. That would be great. But I don't know if they'll go that way. Miss Can One says Vince would not care 100%. Yeah, I think you're right. I think you're right. I would love to see someone trying to have that conversation with Vince, saying, no, I don't want to go to the main roster. I don't want to help the company, and I don't want to earn more money. That's not going to be an easy conversation to have. I can't wait for TakeOver, says Wrestling Days fan. Heather White says, Rock and Roll Express. I've not seen them since the NWA. Hello, Daze. I am the person that sent you a message on Twitter and you replied. It's fine if you don't remember, but hello to you. Shout out to you, John. I heard a rumour that SummerSlam is going to be in New Jersey, but with no fans, says Allie. I can only go by the latest news that I've seen, and that was an hour ago from WrestleVotes, who are a very good source. I stand by them as a reliable source. The reason why I do that is because I can quote you several times this year alone where they've said something and it's proven to be correct. So I genuinely believe that they do have access to inside information. And they said no fans. They tweeted out an hour ago and they said no fans, won't be at the Performance Center, and they are trying for the Northeast. But I think the word they used was that's looking a little iffy. They've gone with the word iffy, right? It's not a word I would use, but actually it is a word I would use. But yeah, they're saying it's looking a little bit iffy. So don't know if that's going to come off for them or not. Wrestling Days fan, I am good. Thank you. I am good. What do you rate the Finnish Championship? I honestly had the old TNT title down at around about a 3 or a 4. Like, I had it down there with the 24/7 Championship. I thought it was that bad. I'm happy to say that this is now better than the 24/7 Championship. It's definitely improved. But for me, it's not pushing up to like a 7 or an 8. It is probably around a 3. And now I'd say it's like a 5, maybe a 5.5. So, I mean, it's almost doubled its score. It is an improvement, but I don't think it stands up next to some of the better titles out there. And you know, I'll give credit to AEW. I've said this before. I think their World Championship is beautiful. I think their World Championship, the belt that Moxley carries, I think is a very impressive looking title, and I like the fact that it reminds me a little of like Bruno Sammartino's title, because his main plate that he had when he was champion was like a rectangle. And obviously AEW have kind of gone that way as well, and then they've got like the rectangle side plates. It's not like an oval shape, is it? Or like a circle shape. They've gone with more of like this rectangle shape in the center, and then they've got the plates on the side, and it's got a bit of a different feel to the championship belts that are out there at the moment. It is a design that we've seen in wrestling before. I like it. I think that it's so detailed. I think it's a little bit different, but still a throwback to like a classic kind of a look. And so for me, that is like right up there. The NXT UK Championship as well is always one of my favorites. Love the detailing on that belt. Think it's a stunning title. So for me, those are like the top echelon of current belts. And of course, the £10 of gold. I mean, that goes without saying. That's just an absolutely iconic belt design that should never be changed. Like, you can't change that belt. So, like, those are, that's what I think of when it's like up there, and then kind of as you go down towards the bottom was that TNT title. And it was no surprise. Well, it was a relief when they said it wasn't finished, because I think when we all saw it, it was like, what is that? That is awful. So when they said it wasn't finished, then at least it was like, okay. So it's improved, but not enough for me to be like losing my mind over it, you know. Monica King, shout out to you. We do have a big stream this weekend. UFC this weekend. Daniel Cormier taking on Stipe Miocic. That is going to be a big stream. That is a big card. Very, very excited for this weekend. So we're back tomorrow for a classic pay-per-view watch-along. I think we'll be watching SummerSlam 2005, Hulk Hogan versus Shawn Michaels. We're back on Friday for SmackDown, and then we will be back Saturday for that incredible, massive, mega stream. Like, that thing's going to be like 7 hours long. It's going to have tons of people joining us on it as well. I mean, that is going to be such a popular stream because it's going to be such a big card, and yeah, I'm looking forward to it, man. Really, really looking forward to it. Jason P says, hi, all storms in the UK are quite bad. Yeah, it's worth mentioning that, actually, because literally less than an hour before we went live, I lost all the power to the house. The lights went, the electricity went, everything went down. There is a nasty, nasty thunderstorm in the UK. But thankfully, it seems to have passed where I am. It doesn't seem to be where I am right now. So feeling a little bit better about it. So fingers crossed that we don't get any interruptions. But yeah, there is a nasty storm in the UK. Jake Holden says, will you be watching TakeOver, Dynamite or UFC? Not this Saturday, but the Saturday after. We're watching UFC with Dynamite on in the background. Right, let's go down to the latest. What is the worst looking WWE title? 24/7 Championship, I think. Can't think of anything that looks worse than that. Yeah, I think I'm quietly confident that it is that. I can't think of anything worse. Daze, do you know this is going to be Asuka's first SummerSlam? Oh, I didn't know that, no. Shout out to you, Durante. UFC, happy face from Elder Sour. The new WWE titles are trash. I love the old ones like Big Gold and Winged Eagle, says Dave in real life. B Tazzy Tailgate and After Show Party, who, as we said, you know, you can jump over to B Tazzy, does some great after shows, before and after shows. And B Tazzy, feel free to let people know when you're live next. Daze, Sugar Sean O'Malley is going to steal the show on Saturday. It's going to be the Sugar Show, says Corey. I agree. I agree. Thunder's husband, hello. Thunder's husband, a.k.a. Brian Rosa. I know a few people who could answer Shida's challenge. Oh. When is Shida's challenge? Do you know, I don't know when she's... I know she did throw that out, but I haven't seen that tonight. That's not tonight. I tell you what, if a certain Lady Rosa was to answer that, that would be amazing. And would be in line with the amount of NWA talent that we've seen going over to AEW and doing so well. I mean, I was so excited when Eddie Kingston got that opportunity to go over because he was brilliant. I mean, and what was so great was, I don't know if you guys listen to like the Jim Cornette podcast. I don't listen to it every single week, but if I find myself like where I'm doing some editing and I want some on in the background, I will put on some wrestling podcasts. And that is one that I have on rotation with a few others. And I just happened to catch his thoughts on on Eddie Kingston. I've got Brian Rosa on my head. I caught his thoughts on it, and he had so much praise. And don't forget, he hates AEW. He absolutely loathes AEW, but he was full of so much praise for Eddie Kingston and that match that he had against Cody, and he was like, I hope they've signed him up. Like, that is exactly the kind of performer that they need. And hey, I'm quite happy to go on record as saying I do not want to see Thunder Rosa going from NWA because I'm a big NWA fan. I'm a big Thunder Rosa fan. She's had one of my favourite matches of the year earlier this year when she took on Allison Kay. So seeing her compete against Allison Kay was such a fantastic match. And it's such a shame that things have been on hold for so long for the NWA. But there was obviously big news that the NWA is on the verge of coming back soon. It's going to be like a pay-per-view, weekly pay-per-view thing, which I've not seen the detail on it. All I saw was the tweet that got sent out that they're partnering with someone. And there's going to be like a weekly pay-per-view thing starting in September. But I don't know any more than that. I don't know if they've tweeted anything further out, but I mean, of course, that's going to have our attention. So, yeah, look, I will be over the moon if she goes. I hope she smashes it if she does. And if she ends up signing, it's what she deserves. So, you don't begrudge people those kind of... You want to see talent rising and getting up there, don't you? You know, and fulfilling their potentials. And she deserves to be on that stage. But it would be... there would be a tinge of sadness. There's no two ways about it. Because you would then look at the NWA and go, man, do you know what I mean? Losing Eddie Kingston, that's a big loss. Losing Ricky Starks, that was a loss. Colt Cabana going, that was a loss. And you're like, oh, then if you lose Thunder Rosa, that's going to hurt. And it's like, NWA will continue, but it's just going to sting in it. Do you know what I mean? Like one of them, what was it called? A burn. Oh, you know, when you twist people's arms. What was it called? Is it a Chinese burn? Is it called a Chinese burn? Why are the Chinese everywhere doing bad things at the moment? Chinese burn? That's what it was called, a Chinese burn? Did they invent it? Did they invent Chinese burns? Was that like something they did in war? Like, do you know what I mean? Running up to people going... Ah! Used to do them all the time. If you don't know what I'm on about, it's where you grab someone's forearm, right, with both hands, and then you, like, do that, and it's called a Chinese burn, and it hurts, stings, and that's the pain I would feel if Thunder Rosa left. Liam Costa says, Daze, sorry I haven't been around for a while. No worries, my friend. Welcome back. B Tazzy, tailgate and after party, says the next tailgate and after party and cooking with Tazzy is this Friday. There we go. There we go. Thunder Rosa is busy with Mission Pro Wrestling. Yeah, is that the name of her company? She started her own company, didn't she? And I've seen the card. And actually, the card looks quite good. Big Swole is on the card. Big Swole's on the card. And a few other people that are names that I recognise. So, yeah, interesting. I don't know where you watch that, actually. Is that going to be on Fight or something? I don't know. AEW star Darby Allin and former MLW star Priscilla Kelly are getting a divorce. Yes, I did see this news. Awful news. I don't think it's a work or anything like that. I think it's straight up, legit. And I feel for him. I really do. You don't wish that. I really like Darby Allin. I ain't got no issue with Priscilla Kelly. So, and even if I did, you don't want to see people getting divorces and things like that. So, no, that's a real shame. Liam Costa says, I've been so busy with work and my girl. You've been busy with your girlfriend. Hey, Liam, that's quite a confession. I've been so busy with work and my girlfriend. Yeah, I hear you. Getting some of that sweet loving. Who do you think the members of Retribution are? I think that it is Daniel Bryan's daughter, Birdie. I think that it is the two new Bella children that were born about a week or so ago. I think that it's probably, the leader is probably Nicholas, that was the tag partner of Strowman from a little while ago. And also... can't think of a single... Lacey Evans' kid. I was trying to think of another child, and I was like, I can't think of any children. Like, who have I seen in wrestling? Where are all the children? And Lacey Evans' daughter, she's in it as well. So there we go, breaking news. Those are the members of Retribution. Honestly, losing Ricky and Eddie was awful. Can Eli Drake and James Storm hold the fort? Well, it's an opportunity for talent to break through. I mean, if you've been watching, or if you had been watching Circle Squared, there was some real talent that was coming through. And I don't think there's any shame in the NWA being a feeder promotion for AEW. I think we have to put our hands up, right? I think we have to put our hands up and say, this is where the NWA is. You know, it's not on network TV. It prides itself on showcasing fantastic wrestling. And we've already seen several stars going from NWA to AEW. Now, if you've been watching this channel for a while, we jumped onto NWA as soon as Power began because I was really intrigued by the studio setting, a couple of names that I recognised. And they're just the history of the NWA is enough for me to go, we're watching that. We're watching that. So I was intrigued and hooked from the beginning of Power. And we've been shouting about these people that like since Power began, because you can tell talent when you see talent. You can see talent, and it was stuffed with talent, the NWA, and it still is. There's still people in the NWA that can end up going to other promotions. But what's quite exciting is that if they have lost and are losing some of the bigger names, just look at Circle Squared. Look at Circle Squared and look at some of the talent that was coming through there, and they can replenish, rebuild, tell some new stories, and the standard shouldn't really drop too much, you know? And there was a lot of excitement around, what was her name? Danny Jordan. I saw a lot of people getting excited about Danny Jordan. Now, Danny Jordan has actually appeared on AEW a few times in squash matches. And she actually does, I think, some working out with DDP. She's part of DDP Yoga, and I think that was kind of how she got in with, like, AEW. But she appeared on Circle Squared, and I saw a lot of people. She started doing, like, interviews and things. People were, like, calling her up, asking for interviews and whatever, and she had a burn book and stuff like this. So I mean, like, you could bring someone like Danny Jordan in, and she's gonna be a star in the future. She's gonna generate a bit of buzz. There's great talent out there. There is really great talent out there. So I think NWA having some kind of an arrangement with NWA, I think would make a lot of sense. And then just imagine if they did have that arrangement, you could then get some AEW talent just occasionally popping in, just to, you know, give NWA a bit of a boost, give us some of them high-profile matches for the pay-per-views. Not every week. You know, every week you've got your normal roster. But as you're getting towards pay-per-views, if you just need that little bump or whatever, or, you know, a little bit of advertising, or, yeah, you know, I think having it as a bit of a developmental for AEW isn't disrespectful and isn't the worst place for NWA to be. Johnny Bates says, who would win, old school Rosemary versus Slayer Allie? I always find those kind of things very difficult to talk about, because how can you don't know the situation, you don't know what's going to make sense for the story, you don't know who's going over and what the future plans would be for them. And, you know, I mean, if it happens in one promotion, you're going to get one outcome. If it happens in a different promotion, you're going to get a different outcome. And so when it comes to stuff like that, you just can't say that. You have to have, like, the bigger picture before you can say, like, yeah, that would be the outcome, you know. Brent Lanning says, Daze, the TNT belt is finished and it's gorgeous. You will love it. We've actually spoken about it. I do agree that it is a marked improvement. I'm not sure that I love it, right? We were saying, like, for me, it's probably around 5.5 to 6. Where it was, though, it was around a 3. So it's almost doubled in its ratings. So it's a definite improvement. And I do like the way that the lettering really stands out now on that kind of shiny background. Like, the fact they've made it, like, really polished it up, and they've, you know, put the gold on and everything. It is an improvement. So, yeah, fair play. They have improved it. Agreed. It could do more for NWA as it's doing for AEW. Smash Wrestling has Allie versus Rosemary DVD for sale, and it was quite good. There we go. Jim Gore dropping a knowledge bomb in the chat. Adam says, Daze, I've sent you a DM. Thank you. About the GoFundMe that I tagged you in. Thank you for the support. Okay, no worries. I'll make sure to retweet that out. So, I don't want to say anything because I don't know what you want me to say. So, all I'll say, I'll tell you what, it's better if it comes from you anyway, Adam. So, if you want to reveal what it's about, then I'll leave that. I'll allow you to do that in the chat, but I don't really want to say anything because obviously it's your life. Alvin says, Daze, who do you think is the next big WWE Women's Champion in NXT? Okay. NXT, I think it's hard to say the next big because I don't know in what order they're going to go up, but Rhea Ripley has already had a match at WrestleMania, and Rhea Ripley will go to the main roster eventually, and Rhea Ripley will be either Raw or SmackDown champion. There's no denying that. Her match at WrestleMania was my favourite match from WrestleMania. Her against Charlotte was excellent. So Rhea Ripley was someone that I criticised a little bit, and I wonder, I'm not saying if this is right, but I wonder if the reason why she hasn't gone to the main roster is because they also feel that there's a few things that she still needs to work on. Like maybe they're just leaving her down in NXT just to get a little bit of seasoning, you know. There was an opportunity to bring someone up, made more sense to bring up Shayna. Didn't really have anything for Rhea. She could do with a little bit more work. I mean, I think that her no-selling of submissions was a big problem. She would get put in submissions at the end of a match, and she wouldn't really show that she was in a great deal of pain. There wasn't really the psychology of, wow, is she going to get out of this? She quite easily just got out of it and then would go on to win the match. And for me, that kind of really took away from her overcoming the odds. And I do feel as well, just from a booking point of view, if you get put in a submission hold after like a 30-minute classic, maybe even a 25-minute grueling contest, and it's middle of the ring, you should tap. You should tap. That's not a criticism so much with the wrestlers. That's more the booking. I just feel like submissions aren't given the respect they deserve. You put on a submission in the middle of the ring after someone has used up all their energy, 25 minutes, an absolute war, and you're telling me they're still finding ways out of submissions. Why even bother putting a submission on then? What's the point? Like, honestly, I don't even know why wrestlers are still doing them if they're that easy to get out of. So that was my criticism with Rhea Ripley. I thought her gimmick, her look, her actual wrestling ability was very good. Yeah, there was just a couple of things she needed to tweak, but didn't get any of those issues at WrestleMania. She went on, knocked it out the park, had an incredible match against Charlotte. And so she will be a future champ. Maybe Io as well, but I think the problem with Io is that she doesn't speak English. She hasn't got the comedy side where she can get across. She can't really do a promo. So, like, with Asuka, she also struggled with that. But now she's found a way of talking in Japanese and then throwing in the odd phrase. Io doesn't do that at the moment. So I'm not sure what the plan is. They could go that way with Io. Io is a lot more serious. I mean, when it comes to Raw and SmackDown, a little bit of comedy is going to get you far. Certainly, that's what Vince enjoys. Vince loves Asuka now because, you know, she's brought more to her persona. She's not just this absolutely dominant, unstoppable, on a winning streak, you know, kick-ass, crazy wrestler. Now she's doing all the dancing, the little voices. She's, you know, brought in the funny promos, and yeah, she's shown that she's got a lot more to her, and we just haven't seen that from Io Shirai. So I think Io is an incredible wrestler, one of the best when it comes to in-ring, but man, she's got things that she needs to develop, and one of them is definitely her promos. Yeah, I'm gonna say Rhea. Liam says, my first month of my job, I earned 1,600. That's amazing, dude. That's amazing. Wrestling Days fan says, I can't wait to see Scarlett singing. Okay. I can. BT Sport better not F up, says James. Daze, since NXT isn't developmental anymore, do you think Evolve will be developmental? That's how I would use it. I don't know that they're going to go that way. They've bought it, and I think it makes sense. Hopefully they've bought and got some of the contracts as well, because if you saw my theory video as to who was in Retribution, then I think there's an argument that it could be Evolve superstars, and I actually think there's a few superstars that look exactly like the people in that group. So I did a lot of work on that. I went back, really researched it, found images of everyone, found who was still under contract when the company was bought, and yeah, really did some work on it. So I kind of feel like they could go that way. I think they've picked up some great talent. They've picked up an incredible library as well. I mean, Shotzi Blackheart, Cesaro, Drew McIntyre, Matt Riddle, like they all went through Evolve. They all competed at Evolve, and now they can dig into that whole video library. There's a great video library they can bring to the network. So I don't know if they're going to continue it as a show on the network. I think they should. Yeah, I think they bought it for the tape library, to be honest. But I would carry it on as a developmental, yes. Because I think that is, and we've said this week after week after week, that is NXT's problem. NXT has always been developmental. You can't do that when you're going up against AEW, because AEW has got Jericho, Matt Hardy. It uses the likes of Jake the Snake. It uses Arn Anderson. Yeah, I mean, like, you've got all of these big names that's on that show. Jake Hager, for example, as we said, John Moxley being the champion. So you've got, like, Cody, Bucks, Kenny. Like, there's big names on AEW. And then you look over at NXT, and it's like Finn Balor, who we don't see every week. I mean, Karrion Kross, you won't know him unless you've been watching NXT. And less people watch NXT than watch AEW. You need Raw and SmackDown stars. You need a few more. You need Daniel Bryan, Kevin Owens, Sami Zayn. You need people of that ilk going to NXT to give it just that star power, so at least it can hang. At least it can go head to head. When you've got a Jericho segment, what are you countering it with? Even Keith Lee is not on that level. Casual fans don't know who Keith Lee is. Casual fans potentially don't know who Johnny Gargano is. They certainly don't know who Karrion Kross is. Only people that watch NXT know of these names. So you can't compete with a Jericho that's got 20 years plus 30 years experience, you know. In fact, well over 20 years. 30 years experience. Same with the likes of Matt Hardy, as we said. Like, how are they countering that? So I think you've got to move away from NXT being developmental. For me, that's the problem tonight. You look down the NXT card tonight. I mean, look, tonight on AEW, we've got Cody, Kenny Omega, we've got Jericho, we've got the Young Bucks, we've got the Revival. Okay, so that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 big stars there. Kenny Omega. I don't know. You can include him if you want or not. Same with the Young Bucks if you don't feel they're that level. But I don't think we can deny that Cody Rhodes, who was in WWE for a long time, Jericho, Revival. Do you know what I mean? These are big names. And over on NXT, what have we got? Bronson Reed versus Damian Priest. It's not doing it. Right? Karrion Kross versus Danny Burch. It's not doing it. Santos Escobar taking on Tyler Breeze. I mean, Tyler Breeze? Do you even count Tyler Breeze? Maybe. But I think we can all agree he's not on the same level as Revival, Jericho, or Cody Rhodes. But if you want to count Tyler Breeze, I'd be down with that. Adam Cole, Pat McAfee. Feud continues. I mean, don't make no mistake, that's a ratings grab. I think they agree they need ratings, and that's why they've just gone to Desperate Town. Johnny Gargano, Candice LeRae. I don't know, man. Johnny Gargano's made very few appearances on either Raw or SmackDown. I don't know that he's got that star power. Cameron Grimes, Kushida, maybe. And whoever this mystery part, this is what I'm saying. If you actually break it down, it's just not there. Star power's not there. So for me, I think that NXT is going to get battered this week in the ratings once again before anything's even happened. It doesn't even matter what happens on the show. If you look at that card and you're like Bronson Reed versus Damian, both great wrestlers. Nothing but respect. I'm not disrespecting them as wrestlers. But what I am saying is that would it not make more sense to kind of not do that and have Danny Burch and have Santos Escobar and have, do you know what I mean, Cameron Grimes? And there's just a lot of talent they're trying to establish. Shout out to Chopper Does Figs. Team Steph versus Team Shane. Triple H has just tweeted. What has he said? Let me know. Take that glory, my friend. Take that glory. That glory ball is yours. So take that glory. Eddie Edwards is a multiple-time Impact World Champion. You can't say that he's a huge name by any stretch. No, I mean, I don't even know what Impact's ratings are like, honestly. I don't know what I couldn't tell you what Impact gets viewed on a weekly basis, so I don't think anyone that's coming out of Impact is that well known. We are talking here, when I'm talking about casual fans, I'm talking about the people that tune into Raw, SmackDown, the people that they've lost as well. Don't forget, Raw was doing over 2 million, and now it does about 1.7. So there's 300,000 people that have gone away. Do you know what I mean? So it's like, not only the 1.7 that tune into Raw, I mean, 1.7 million tune into Raw, about 700,000 tune into NXT. There's 1 million people that are not watching NXT that watch Raw. Why? Why aren't they tuning in? Why? Where's that million disappearing to on a Wednesday? And that's a bad Raw rating as well. So, you know, back in the day, it was over 2 million. So I don't think it's unfair to say that at the start of the year, they were doing over 2 million, right? So last week they did 600,000, right? So where is the 1.5 million fans that at the start of the year tuned into Raw? Where are they on a Wednesday? Where are they? Why are they not tuning in to NXT? That's the people I'm talking about, right? They do not care about Impact, seemingly, right? Because Karrion Kross is not bringing them in. So, yeah, I don't think that anyone that's been on Impact is moving the dial all that much. I don't think that Brian Cage has done a great deal for AEW. Honestly, we've got to say that Impact is just a feeder brand at this stage. It's just not on this level. Like, Impact for me is not on the same level as NXT and AEW. I don't know the ratings, right? Maybe Impact does 700,000 views every week, right? I don't know. But my gut feeling is it probably does less than 500,000. And NXT, AEW does not get down to those levels. So for me, it's just not, it's not a thing. It's not that Karrion Kross is not a name. Detailed, go eat this. Shout out to you, my friend. Do you that El Torito is the leader of Retribution? Yes, I think El Torito is the leader of Retribution. NXT is too concerned with developing talent for the main roster, which results in stifled stories, in my honest opinion. Look, NXT has got a really great identity, and that identity was developing talent, you know? I mean, they got the best talent that was out there. They put it into NXT, and it didn't matter. They had no competition. It was just a show that they put on a Wednesday. Do you know what I mean? Like, they mixed in the talent that needed to learn. I mean, look at Nakamura. Nakamura's a massive star in Japan. He knows how to wrestle. He's not going to NXT to learn how to wrestle. He's going to NXT to kind of just be taught maybe a bit of the American way, to be taught how WWE works, but also to give NXT a bit of star power. Gives NXT a little bit of star power. You know, hardcore wrestling fans that didn't have to choose on a Wednesday would tune in because it's Nakamura, right? And I get that hardcore wrestling fans would tune into NXT because it's Karrion Kross, okay? Problem now is hardcore wrestling fans have got a choice. Hardcore wrestling fans can now watch an alternative, right? So this is why we keep saying that it's fine for NXT to still be blooding a few people, right? There's ways of doing that. I haven't got a problem with them doing that. But I think they do too much of it, and I think that there's not enough star power at the top. I don't think there's enough star power at the top. I think they need to get some other big names because they're competing against big names. So this is where they're confused. They don't know if they're developmental or... Because if they're not developmental, who is developmental? If NXT isn't developmental, who is? So it has to be developmental at the moment. So they're having to be developmental. But then equally, you know, they're also having to try and compete in ratings against another company. So that's got bigger names. Oh, I tell you, it's good, isn't it? Getting stuck. This is why I like Wednesday. I like Wednesdays for these reasons. I like Wednesdays for getting stuck into some hardcore wrestling chat. And whether you agree or disagree, I would urge that you still put your thoughts in the comments and whatever. That's exactly what this is about. I'll share my thoughts and tell you what I think. But by all means, if you disagree, comment section is there for you, my friends, to get your points across so that everyone else can see what you think about this. So I like NXT. I think they need to change quite a few things about it, but I do like it. As a brand, I always have. And I think that AEW has made a lot of mistakes, but I think that considering they're still, within their first year? Has Dynamite even been going a year? Considering they're still in their first 12 months, they've done incredibly well. Incredibly well. Right, I'm looking for AEW because we are just a few minutes away. And why can't I find it? 33 to 20. What's this? There it is. Found it. Daze, you got what I sent about Goldberg and Bray having history. Yes, I saw. I don't like that. I've never liked that theory anyway, so I just don't really pay that much attention. I've always hated the idea that the Fiend is weaker against people that don't have any history. So I just think even if that theory was true, I just think why would you want to limit the Fiend character in such a way? You've got this absolutely awesome character, but what? He's going to be weak against people he's never faced. So he's going to basically struggle against the whole of the NXT roster. I just don't like it. Right. Down and out, down and out, down and out. Right, let's try and go down. NXT is really good. I wish the shows were on different days. I agree with that. I wish the shows were on different days. What channel is AEW on? I am subscribed to Fight, and I watch it on Fight TV. Drew was on TNA, and now look at what he's done since his comeback. I don't know what you mean. I mean, Drew was a bit of an established name anyway, because of course he had that first run in WWE, and it didn't work out, and he actually got fired, and so he ended up having to go to different promotions, and he wrestled for lots of various promotions around the world, including, as you say, Impact. But then when they brought him back to NXT, and he was in there. But Drew's not a bad name to bring in. Drew's got a bit of name recognition because of his run before, but that had nothing to do with Impact. Right, here comes the Bucks. The Young Bucks. Over on NXT, we've just got video packages of things that have been going on in recent weeks. Who are they facing? Dark Order. Dark Order have come out and are attacking the Bucks on the entrance stage. Well, that's big, isn't it? Right, here's Karrion Kross as well. Let's see, is... oh, hello, what's going on here? What's going on here? Is she going to do some singing? I don't know why she doesn't just release an album. Why doesn't she just release an album if she loves singing that much? Come on, Scarlett, you don't have to do it. You don't have to do it. So, Karrion Kross coming down to the ring. AEW should stop kicking off their show with tag matches. Well, I don't mind it tonight because it is Tag Team Appreciation Night. Okay, so Scarlett getting into the ring. I am just... Oh, she is mouthing it again. She's not going to stop, is she? This is absolutely what she does now. I don't know. Why does no one look at... I don't understand. It must be me. It honestly must be me. Because week after week, they keep doing it. Week after week, she keeps going out there and doing it. And they must love it. But to me, it looks really silly. It's kind of like Rocky. You know when Rocky's working out, yeah? And he's like doing all this. You don't see Rocky going, it's the eye of the tiger, it's the thrill of the fight. Couldn't challenge my rivals. He's not singing along, is he? He's just standing there looking cool. Why can't she do that? Why can't she just stand there and look cool? She looks awesome. She looks amazing. And if it's her singing, that's great. But you don't have to do it again. You've already done it once. It's recorded. Maybe she doesn't know it's recorded. Perhaps she thinks she's singing along. Or I don't know. I don't know what her thought process is. All I know is every week winds me up. Right. Karrion Kross against Danny Burch. It was lovely knowing you, Danny. Danny Burch, it was lovely knowing you. Right, over on AEW, we've got the Bucks going up top. Stu Grayson and Evil Uno in the ring right now. Are those teeth on Evil Uno's mask? I've always wondered that. I've just always presumed that it is teeth that's printed on his mask, but I've never actually gone as far as to looking at a picture to see if it is or not. I'm guessing it is. Chops by the Bucks. The Bucks working together. It's not terrible. I prefer her to not lip sync. Do you think Rick is going to play Drew for a fall? Says Adamy. Yeah, someone sent me that. And I like the theory. I think it's a good theory that Orton didn't really punt Ric Flair because the lights went out and you don't see it. And actually, Ric Flair's going to somehow cheat Drew out of the title. It keeps Drew looking strong. And yeah, I like it. Daze, can my child Addie get a shout out? It would make her day. Absolutely. Shout out to you, Addie. Hope you are well. Adam and Addie Davidson. Hope you are well. Daze, are you not roasting in that beanie? It's actually all right. We've had thunderstorms. So it's been pretty moody weather-wise here. It was boiling earlier, but temperature has settled down right now. Lovely German suplex by Karrion Kross. Forearm strike to Danny Burch. Danny Burch in the corner. Of course, we are building towards Keith Lee against Karrion Kross. I can feel that Keith Lee is coming. J14 says, her singing doesn't bother me, but I could go without it. Kross is going to make Goldberg drink through a straw. He's got a cross face. Danny Burch, look at that. Why does Karrion Kross not have use the crossface? There we go. Look, some no selling of a submission hold there by Karrion Kross that picks up Danny Burch. Nice suplex. Fun fact, the weather is okay here in Yorkshire. Karrion Kross versus Danny Burch. Going to be a squash match, says DGD Gamer. Swamp Manor, shout out to you. Danny Burch goes down in the other corner. Karrion Kross going over. Why is AEW not on normal TV anymore? Honestly, I don't know. Is the answer. I don't know. I didn't see the communication as to what happened. I never watched it on normal TV. I've always watched it on Fight. It was never live on normal TV. Sleeper hold. Danny Burch has been put to sleep. With the Kross jacket. Oh, hello. I can hear some thunder again. Little bit of thunder, so the storms come back. Karrion Kross picking up the victory. Karrion Kross bringing the thunder. Bask in his glory. Do you know, I want to see Mia Yim go after Scarlett. That's what I want to see. I am so Keith Lee in this feud. So Keith Lee. I think Karrion Kross is fine. I think he's got a good look. Matches don't blow me away. Nothing compared to what Keith Lee has been doing. But yeah, I'd love to see Mia Yim come down and just smash Scarlett. Keith Lee's come down with a contract. He's staring at Karrion. Scarlett's like, come on, let's go. I know a karaoke bar down the road. Let's go there instead. I can do Jolene. Keith Lee says, this is on you. We're still underway with Bucks against Dark Order. I'm looking that the thunderstorms haven't started where I am in London. It's been very hot. Do you know there's a Pokemon called Komala? I didn't know that, no. I'm in Preston, and I've got a fan on. It's 21 degrees. All this contract needs is your punk. Scarlett goes over. Grabs it. You going to read it? Walks back. I hope now she's going to take her time and read it. They're not looking at it. They've not looked at it. That was stupid. That was stupid. I don't think they read that. She did have a little glance down. I will give her that. But I don't know that she was able to read it all within that time. If I was Keith Lee, I'd be like, do you know what you've just signed? That says you're not allowed to mouth along to the entrance music anymore. Ah! Look, it was here at the bottom. I added it. You're welcome, NXT Universe. And then she'd be like, nah! And I was like, yeah, you should have read it. Stupid wrestlers, you never read these contracts. Wow, there's drama here as Keith Lee is standing over a contract. Scarlett is walking away. Keith Lee reaches down. Picks it up. Is this building to something? He opens it. Oh. He's opened the contract and a flame has shot up. They just, I don't know if you know, but she's always got some of them on her. She carries them around. She carries them around. Oh, maybe she's in Retribution. That's the kind of thing Retribution would do. Well, I don't even know what those things are called. I don't know if we have them in the UK, but are they like cherry bombs or something? Isn't that what Bart Simpson used to play with? She is such a minx. Why is she not called the Minx? Why is it not Karrion Kross and the Minx? Guys, he's blind. He's blind. He's lost his sight. Absolute scenes. Look at all these refs that have come down to help Keith Lee. Where was a single person to help Alexa Bliss? Alexa Bliss is still kidnapped. Alexa Bliss is still kidnapped. Do we all remember Dominic getting beaten up? Where was there? There's about 20 people that have come out to help Keith Lee. Oh, can't believe it. Oh, he's so upset. We're going to help you. It's going to be all right. This is definitely Vince. 1987 Big Fan says, this is ridiculous. Stella! Oh, man. I don't know what's happening with NXT at the moment. I don't know what's happening. It's lost its mind. NXT has lost its mind. And I think what's happening is NXT is being pushed and put under pressure. And they're having to try and think of, like, maybe some social media things they can do. Like, that'll be a moment they're hoping is going to get shared on social media or something. Oh, did you see what happened to Keith Lee? It's not... It's disappointing. Not feeling it. This is NXT. NXT refs care. The main ones don't. Young Bucks have just picked up the victory on AEW. We've actually got picture-in-picture right now. Picture-in-picture so that we can see the strife that Keith Lee is going through. We can see the treatment that's being administered. Oh, well. Right, Killian Dane against Drake Maverick. I can't believe it. I can't believe she had that thing on her. Where did she have it? That thing that she was wearing, she clearly had no pockets. Where did she get it from? I don't understand. She was wearing, like, a bikini. Like, this, like, skin-tight thing. But still, she carries around minor explosives on her. Maybe it was in a boot or something. I don't know. Perhaps she never leaves home without some minor explosives. We've got MJF. Sean says, I personally enjoyed that. Matt Hardy teleporting was worse. Oh, yes. Yes. That isn't in the realms of unbelievability. Like, I can take that. There's questions about it, right? I do look at it and go, oh, that's silly, right? But I'm not, like, out and out offended by it. But, yeah, the Matt Hardy teleporting thing awful. I don't think even AEW fans were on board with it, which is why Matt had to come out and be like, I didn't teleport. It was projections from there were several drones that you couldn't see. They were like down on the floor, and they were just projecting me, and that's how we were doing it. So I didn't teleport. Right, Shida in action tonight. Don't know who she's facing. Oh, I'm all excited now. Has she got a mystery opponent? I didn't see this announcement. But she's in action tonight. I'm guessing it's not live, and they edited it out when they planted the firebomb. They fixed the TNT Championship, says Jack CMO1. We've got the Rock and Roll Express, and we've got Tully Blanchard and Arn Anderson on the show. They used the legends very, very well. Very well. Again, another reason why AEW is doing so well in the ratings, because they have got legends on the show advertised a week in advance, whereas NXT just don't tend to bring anyone on board. You saw Triple H and Shawn last week, but that wasn't announced, was it? We are at commercial break for NXT. Keith Lee confirmed, weekend fan, that he was blinded. I like Kross. He has not had that match yet. I agree. But him and we could be the match. Him and Keith Lee. I don't think it will. I want to encourage you to watch Impact because it's very good, and I know you don't. MJF is making his way out. Of all the shows that I'd be tempted to watch outside of what I do, I mean, I need to find a way of getting more New Japan into my wrestling diet because I'd fallen off with New Japan since it came on. I mean, I love it, but it's just finding the time to watch it. So I need to get New Japan in, but I'd love to get in a little bit of like MLW as well. I've got a lot of respect for MLW, Major League Wrestling. I think they're on Fight TV. They might even be on YouTube for free. So I've got respect for them as well. They've got some great talent like the Von Erichs and is it Jacob Fatu and Hammerstone, and yeah, there's loads of good wrestling out there. Wrestling Daze from the bra. It was a bra explosive. We women secretly have things of mystery. Well, there we go. There we go. In her bra, she carries around minor explosives. I mean, she is next level prepared, isn't she? Amazing. Amazing forward planning. Hey, here's Undisputed Era. Drake Maverick comes crashing down onto Killian Dane. AEW goes to commercial break. Chalmers says, I think it's on YouTube. Survivor Series in November, yes. Killian Dane. Well, neither of these then are going to be in that. Has Killian Dane been in one of those triple threat matches yet? I can't remember. Well, either way, you would think it's not going to be Drake Maverick and it's not going to be Killian Dane. Drake Maverick trying to go over to the corner, going up top. Elbow drop, Undisputed Era have come down. There we go. Undisputed Era attacking Drake Maverick, Killian Dane, interrupting this match for no reason. Does that not make them heels? And is Pat McAfee not a heel? I don't know what they're doing. I just don't know what NXT doesn't know what it's doing. Not Drake. Undisputed Era attacking. Yep. I bet Ray was like, Keith, they've ruined your eyes as well. They have got a thing for eyes, haven't they? They're absolutely right. Sean Reset says Vic Joseph is back on commentary. Oh, is he? Oh, I haven't heard. Explosive bras. Never have I been more attracted to... I'm not going to read that out. The new TNT belt looks so much better. I can't believe they finally finished it, says Esteban. Vic is back. MJF speaks. I'm still at commercial break for AEW. Right, here we go. We do have MJF in the ring. MJF promo. So they're really getting into this whole election thing, aren't they? So we've got two promos on at the same time. We've got Adam Cole doing a promo. We've got MJF doing a promo. Is the TNT belt finished? It is finished, yes. Okay. MJF's having a go at this woman. He's telling her she's got to smile. Nina's going to show us some polling numbers. MJF is up 500% and Moxley is down 1,000%. That's incredible numbers. He's doing really well. He's doing really well. Rock and Roll, Tully and On. It is a classic. We're just seeing on NXT... Pablo Escobar. Are we building towards that match next? Santos Escobar, sorry, against Tyler Breeze. That's next. When are Roddy and Bobby going to get a haircut or a new hairstyle? I don't know. It is the big question. It's the big question that everyone's asking. Fandango Abductions. That was last week, wasn't it? Is it safe to say WWE have messed up? Google says McCarthy is 6'1" and WWE has got Adam Cole billed at 6 foot. They've messed up in many ways. MJF says that Moxley is afraid of change and he is afraid of me. New Japan has been awesome, even with a reduced roster, says Heather. I need to get on it. Jeremy says, I bet MJF's scarf stinks from wearing it all the time. I want you to feel comfortable enough to show up to your job. So he's talking to Moxley. They're moving the plinth out the way. Yeah, what is this all about? MJF's lying in the ring. Adam Cole at most is 5'10". Who is your favourite AEW wrestler? Who is your favourite NXT wrestler? I'll throw that to the chat. Who's your favourite AEW wrestler? Who is your favourite NXT wrestler? Let us know. Be interesting to find out. I like Hangman. I like Big Swole. Those two would be right up there for AEW for me. When it comes to NXT... I do like Keith. I do like Johnny, but I'm not feeling his heel turn. Okay, MJF still Still cutting this promo. It's quite a long promo. John and Keith. Keith Lee and Omega. Kenny Omega. Has Cole's promo done? Yeah, we're at commercial break for NXT. Keith Lee getting a lot of love. AEW Orange Cassidy. NXT Keith Lee. Cody for AEW. That's a good shout. Keith Lee for NXT. Sean says he's under the ring. Well, his music's playing. MJF says he always comes down the stairs, so go up there. So, of course, he'll come out the entrance stage or from under the ring, as you said, Sean. So there we go. Wardlow. Everyone's left him alone in the ring, which seems very stupid. That idiot is always up there. Here's Moxley. And he's come out the entranceway. I don't understand why that was done so obviously. Clothesline from behind. Moxley is beating up on MJF in the ring. MJF gets hurled into that plinth. Double underhook. Paradigm shift by Moxley. We've got Tyler Breeze making his way out now. When he wakes, tell him that Jon Moxley was here. Do you like Yuka Sasaki? Yeah. That's what I think about when I think about that name. Yeah. She's all right. I like her entrance music. I don't know much about her. I've only seen her a few times in AEW. My knowledge of Joshi wrestling is not where it should be. I don't get. I mean, Stardom. I'd love to watch Stardom. I'm guessing she's from there. So I don't know much about her. But when I've seen her, she's been all right. I'm guessing you are a fan, Kermu. I'm guessing you are a fan. Bringing Evil into Bullet Club was cool. That was cool. Superfiend says AEW would be Pentagon, but for NXT it would be Lee. Jennifer says AEW Jon Moxley, NXT Keith Lee. John says Tony Khan. Yes. I wonder what the main event is. I don't know. Tony Khan cameo. Has he come out, has he? I haven't seen him. We're just looking at last week and that chair strike that they're showing a replay of. So, I don't know what the repercussions have been from that chair shot. It's such a shame that because that wasn't planned, they didn't focus on it. I really feel like they could have sold it a little bit more. He's got a cool shirt though. I Don't Die, Matt Hardy. That's a cool shirt. It's got like blood stains all over it. I'm alive. I'm gonna make Sammy bleed the way that I bled. That's a cool shirt, man. Against the ropes goes Tyler Breeze. I like this matchup. It's not the most exciting matchup in the world, but like good in ring wise. Notice how Lance Archer has gone. Cage is nowhere to be found. Social Uncensored gone, except for Scorpio tonight. Lucha Bros, Neville still gone. Best talents are on the sidelines, says Jeremy. Okay, this is a fired up Matt Hardy. Is attacking someone who I'm guessing isn't Sammy. Yeah, he's attacked a ref. So Matt Hardy attacking a referee that he thought was Sammy. But in fact, it wasn't. I like Tyler Breeze with short hair, says Armando. We've got Cody against Scorpio Sky. TNT Championship coming up. Bronny FN says, NXT has been kind of boring. I hope it gets better. Hardy versus Sammy in a first blood match. Any advice? I've got a wrestling channel. Just keep putting up regular content, sharing it on social media, and just, you know, do stuff that you love, because if you love it, there's a good chance other people will love it as well. Here is Scorpio Sky. Breaks down a door. That was a little strange, wasn't it? They actually put a fake doorway up so that he could break the door down. Scorpio Sky versus Cody Rhodes. The finish belt looks really nice. Tyler Breeze is still in WWE. Yeah, he is, yeah. I heard a rumor that Leon Ruff is going to be the next Undisputed Era member. I don't think so. I don't think there's really a need for that to grow as a group. Unless someone leaves. Jeremy, shout out to you, dude. NXT has been great, says Chris. Bronny FN says, already 32 minutes in. I agree. NXT sucks today, says Rockstar Ansh. Well, it's going to be interesting in about 25 minutes' time to get your thoughts as to what we've seen so far. NXT for me, says Dale, would be Keith Lee. AEW would be Hangman Page. Two great picks. Jason Woods, shout out to you. Wrestling Daze fan says, can't wait for SummerSlam. Should be good. Should be good. I get the feeling that NXT is desperate. I really am. I'm not getting the feeling that this is like really great storytelling and that they've got like plans and they're playing out like they've really fast tracked Karrion Kross to the top. You know, a lot of the time piece that they had and the thing that's just exploded and, do you know what I mean? Things like this, it's just, I don't know. It's not sitting quite right. Like, if they had the clock for ages and then it got destroyed as it did a few weeks back, that would have had a lot more impact. It didn't have that much impact when the clock got destroyed because we'd only seen it for a few weeks. And now, obviously, we've had this, like, explosive thing. And, I don't know, it feels like they're having to try and hotshot a few things just to try and get people talking. I agree. I don't know. There's something. I don't know if they've got new writers. I don't know if they're under more pressure. I don't know if it's the fact that they're getting absolutely caned in the ratings. I don't know what it is, but I do agree that NXT is doing some weird stuff at the moment. It's up to you whether you enjoy it or not, but I think we can all agree they're doing different stuff at the moment. Things that you wouldn't necessarily associate with NXT. Here comes Cody. How many people are coming out with him? We got Brandy, we got Dustin, we got Brandy's got her action figure in her hands. We've got Allie, QT Marshall. She's got a little Bran. Did he just say she's got a little Bran? Yeah, he did. He's just repeated it. Bran, what's going on? Daze, will you do a toy hunt for AEW figures? Maybe. I need to get toy hunts done. Daze, do you think that they should put Cedric Alexander and Ricochet in NXT as a tag team? No. I hope the mystery person for the triple threat is a big name or someone with star power. I completely agree. Brony. Is Mike Chioda the ref? I have not seen. We have got a tail of the tape. The commentators haven't said. I can't tell. Kyoto is the ref. That's really cool if they have picked him up. It does look like him. It does look like him. Mike Chioda had worked in WWE for like 30, I think 88 or 89. Maybe, did they sign him a while ago? Is this like breaking news? Like, 'cause I hadn't heard this story. And for some reason, they're not even announcing it. The Prince of Pro Wrestling. Right, we've got Fandango in the ring now. Oh, there we go, yeah. It is Mike Chioda. Well spotted, everyone. Right. Breezango are getting beaten up. Fandango's come down. Isaiah Swerve has come down, guys. That's going to get the people tuning in. I like Isaiah Swerve, but big fight feel. I agree. I agree. It does have a big fight feel. I suppose, I mean, it's a little strange seeing so many people come down, but such a big intro with such a big entourage does add, and what with having Mike Chioda as well, that definitely adds also. So respect to AEW, they have made this feel like not just another match. I like that. Got Dakota Kai. Scorpio Sky on the outside. Mike Chioda, what the what? What the what? For the first time, I'm getting worried that Cody could lose this title, says Mr. Throw-Ups. I think it's alright if he does. I don't think it's a big problem if he does. I don't know that he'll lose it to Scorpio Sky. But, I would have liked for him to have lost it actually to Eddie Kingston. I think Eddie Kingston was an excellent opponent. I never thought I would see Mike in an AEW ref shirt. I don't think Mike ever thought he would see Mike in an AEW ref shirt. So, Cody showing off the guns. Daze, have you got a dog? Yes. It's weird seeing Kyoto in AEW. He was always a WWE guy. He was there before The Undertaker. He, I mean, it's not through his choosing, is it? Do you know what I mean? They let him go. I forgot that Dakota Kai has an accent. I like Cody's introduction, the Prince of Pro Wrestling. It's a tad bit arrogant. Is it a knock on Balor as well? Doesn't Balor go by the moniker of the Prince? So if Cody's going to be referring to himself as the Prince of Pro Wrestling, I wonder how that stands. I'm not saying that it is a dig. I'm not saying that. I'm just... I think Balor uses Prince as well on NXT. Dakota Kai for that championship. Tommaso Ciampa will be the person in the triple threat. Dukes King says it sucks that I can't watch both shows because of my internet. Oh, I'm sorry to hear that, dude. It was touch and go for me as well. What with like the thunderstorms and everything. So, but yeah, welcome, dude. We're getting towards the halfway point of both shows. We're around about 15 minutes away. We are at commercials for NXT. We've got Cody in the corner and Scorpio Sky charging over. Nice slam by Cody. Going for the cover. Kick out by Scorpio Sky. I forgot that Scorpio Sky was a therapist for Team Hell No in WWE. Butterspark says, I am Cody's big ugly tattoo. Amazing. Well, welcome. You're doing a great job. NXT Johnny Gargano's last man standing match against Ciampa. AEW Matt Hardy delete. Oh, okay. Your two picks, Johnny Gargano and Matt Hardy. Still to come, we got Jericho and Orange Cassidy. I should imagine that's the main event for this week's Dynamite. Dave's mystery opponent is going to be Velveteen Dream, says James Chadwick. David Paul says Kushida is wrestling tonight. I just don't know her opponent. Well, I don't know either. I mean, is she facing a mystery opponent, or have they just not made a big deal out of it, or what? Because there was a little tease in the chat that it might be worth keeping an eye on, but I've not seen them building that up as like she's taking on a big, like you're not going to want to miss this kind of a thing, you know? Unless it's a little surprise they've got in store for us, which would be amazing. But yeah, I mean, the only graphic, it just says Hikaru Shida in action. There's nothing about that that's like, wow, you know? It's not like against a top indie talent or something, you know? Which is what I think they said, didn't they? Isn't that what they used to describe Eddie Kingston? I don't know. I can't read it. I can't read what that's going to be. But Spark, shout out to you. What about Pete Dunne? What about Pete Dunne? Awesome wrestler. I only watch NXT because I don't know where the channel TNT is for me, says Brony FN. Yeah, I don't know where that channel is, but I watch it on Fight. Nice standing vertical suplex by Cody at the moment. He's got Scorpio Sky up. He doesn't suplex him. He slams him face first. Cody in black tights. He's got like leopard print highlights on his tights. Obviously his weight belt. Scorpio Sky in red. And what's he looking for? Stretch. So, little Ridge Holland promo here. Is that Indy Hartwell? Indy Hartwell in the ring. Nice roll up by Cody. Who's she facing? Mia. She's facing Mia Yim. Mia Yim backstage. Keith Lee's going to be all right, guys. Mia Yim says, I need to focus on my match. Now, this will be cool if they go after her. If they go after her, that will add some spice to that story. Keep saying that Mia Yim needs to get involved in this. So, Mia Yim making her way down. I'm keeping an eye on this. I've got a feeling something's going to go down. Right, we've got Cody wrapped around the ring post now. Scorpio Sky hurling him into that ring post. Brandy and Arn on the outside. Arn having a word with the ref. Having a word with Mike, our good friend Mike. Right, where are we with time? We've still got just over 12 minutes. Mia Yim in the ring. Indy Hartwell. Recent signing, Indy Hartwell. I think she's not been with NXT too long. Nice abdominal stretch by Scorpio Sky. And is really pulling back there. But Cody with a hip toss. Are there fans at AEW tonight? They've got a lot of superstars around the ringside area. I think there might be a few people in the stands, yeah, but not nothing that we don't normally see. Mia Yim, nice basement drop kick. Cody and Scorpio Sky both rolling into the ring. Scorpio Sky going for a pin, getting a 2 count. Big boot by Mia Yim. That's nice. Love it. Love the way that she kicked Indy Hartwell in the face and then just swiped her legs away. Cannonball by Mia Yim. Mia Yim dragging Indy Hartwell for a pin. Kick out by Indy Hartwell. So Mia Yim in control. Scorpio Sky in control. Supercards just glitched the screen. I hope Mia is going to be okay. I'm worried for her. Yeah, I'm worried for her. I predict that something's going to happen. Shout out to Rusty Shackleford 360. Official Wrestling Radio says they've showed a good number of fans. They mentioned they have fans. I don't know if it's any different to what they normally have, though. Certainly, I'm not seeing anything around ringside other than AEW stars. Crossroads by Cody. Ooh, doesn't get the 3. Doesn't get the 3. Scorpio Sky managing to get his shoulder up. That was a nice crossroads by Cody. He kicked out of the crossroads. Yeah, did well. Indy Hartwell's doing all right as well. Now she's managed to get Mia Yim in a headlock. Big smile on her face. Scorpio Sky's got Cody in position for a pile driver. Is that a Spanish fly? I don't know what that was. 2. Just a 2 for Scorpio Sky. Indy Hartwell with a sleeper hold. Wing clipper. Sleeper hold by Indy Hartwell. Again. Scorpio Sky doing well against Cody. I really feel like Cody may drop to Sky tonight. It just feels right. Okay. The fans are on the bleachers. You can't see them at ringside, but they have shown there's a couple of dozen there. Oh, interesting. Shout out to you, Official Wrestling Radio. 1, 2, kick out by Mia Yim. Cody retains the title. And Mia Yim is struggling a bit here against Indy Hartwell. So Arn asking Cody if he's all right. He says, I'm okay. Drop kick by Mia Yim. Nice net breaker by Mia Yim. So if you are just joining us, Cody has retained. German suplex by Mia. Mia in control, working on the arm. Indy Hartwell, though, pushing her off. Rolls her up. Armbar. Yeah, that's nice. And she taps. She manages to get Indy Hartwell to tap. Brody is here with the... What TNT title's that? Has he bought a replica? You're going to put some respect on my name. Why has he got that belt? What's that belt about? So they didn't finish the belt. They changed the belt. That's a different belt. I thought they finished the belt. I thought they'd taken the belt and finished it. But seemingly that's a different belt to what we've been seeing. Okay. I want Chris Jericho, Orange Cassidy, or Jungle Boy to win the TNT Championship. Daze Mia is studying Shayna. Wow, nothing happened, and I'm very surprised about that. Her match just finished, and there was no attack. I'd much rather have seen Karrion, Kross, and Scarlett do attacking Mia than the explosion thing. So they've asked AEW who their favorite tag teams are. Hardys. So Private Party have chosen the Hardy Boys as their favorite tag team. Okay, that's it. Yeah, that was it. This is a match I don't care about. Well, this is Jurassic Express taking on Kenny and Hangman. Jurassic Express versus Omega and Hangman. There we go. Right, we've got Jurassic Express. WWE stole eye for an eye. Did I just see a picture of a young Jeff Hardy on AEW? Yes. Reed versus Priest next. Yep. Finn said it doesn't matter if you're 18 or 49, everyone watches. It doesn't, I mean, like, AEW is beating Raw at the moment in that 18 to 39 demographic. I don't think it's 18 to... I have no idea if you just heard that, but the lightning is so loud. It actually just startled me. Wow. That was loud, man. That was loud. I've got no idea if you just heard that, but that was lightning from outside. So it looks like that storm has returned. So things could get interesting. If we do go away, or if, because there's the power could go, that is a very real prospect. I'm warning you about it right now. We are in the middle of the countryside here, so we are a little bit of a slave to whatever's happening, and that was a loud thunder strike. So the Gaming Odyssey says, I heard it. I heard it. I felt it. Let me tell you. We're at commercial break for NXT. We are at commercial break for AEW. So I tell you what, get your scores in now. Get your scores in now. As to you don't hear lightning. Oh, it was thunder. Thunder and lightning. It was whatever. It was very, very frightening. Get your halftime scores in now, because if anything goes down, I want to know what you're thinking. I want to know what you are thinking. Get your scores in for AEW and NXT. Monica says it's thundering over here as well. Rathman says, I heard it. Wrestling Daze fan says, I couldn't hear it. Well, look, there's other things to talk about. We can focus on wrestling rather than whether you can hear the thunder or lightning in the background. Are you getting one of those Euro hurricanes? I hope not. There's a hurricane coming through. Brony gives NXT 6.75. Madeline says AEW winning as usual. Brendan says 10, just 10. NXT 6.75. NXT is 5, says Scott Turner. AEW 6, NXT 1. Being the Elite has got 50 seconds for a 50-plus storyline about losing the 50-plus demo. Okay. Daze, it was like that by my flat. It shook the building. Ali says NXT 5. NXT's. Just looking at these scores, people are pretty down on it. I have to agree, man. I think NXT's really been off the boil. This is a pretty poor show for me. NXT 6.75, 6.5 by NXT. Scorpio should have won. NXT 4, says Jeremy. AEW 7. J14 says AEW 7.25, NXT 5.75. Daze, who is your broadband provider? My broadband provider is EE, because my broadband is not strong enough here. So I have to do everything through my phone data. So everything goes through my phone data. Which is why we max out sometimes. Damian Priest versus Bronson Reed. But there we go. That gives you can see the scores on screen. That gives you a real flavour as to where we are with both shows at the moment. I don't think I've seen a single score where NXT has beaten AEW. Sandman882 gives NXT 9.25. Every time I see Hangman Page, I always have the same question. Just how many Cowboys are there really in Virginia? Well, it's a good question. I actually don't know if Virginia is famous for Cowboys or not. I'm guessing not. I don't know much about Virginia. I'm ashamed to admit I don't know much about Virginia. But I'm not ashamed to admit that I do like those tag titles. Those tag titles, I don't know if I was sure about them at first, but they really strike me as like really 80s. I just get such a strong 80s vibe from those belts. Frankie Kazarian has got a shirt on that says, I'm a Killer Kowalski guy. Killer Kowalski, one of the big names in the history of wrestling. And he is sat in the stands watching. NXT 3, AEW 99. How about Mike Chioda? That was cool, wasn't it? That was cool. People saying, sorry to hear that, Melissa. What has Melissa said? I came from All Things Wrestling. I had to leave because they were arguing in the chat. Hello, Melissa. Shout out to you. Hope you are well. Michael says, in one segment, AEW took 3 shots at WWE. Cody calls himself the Prince. Brody says TikTok. And Mike Chioda was the ref. The only thing I would say about that is that obviously Mike Chioda was let go. So, I mean, I certainly don't blame him going to AEW. If anything, that was WWE's fault for letting him go, you know. They shouldn't have let such an experienced ref go. I mean, obviously we don't know the ins and the outs, but he'd been there since the late 80s, and yeah, it was a real shock when they let him go. So I'm really pleased that AEW have taken him. and he's got somewhere to be now. You know, he deserves that. I don't know, the little shots and whatever, as long as they're kept kind of small. Do you know what I mean? Like Finn Balor making that reference about the 1849 demographic and whatever. I think it's when like Cody was like wrecking the throne, that was a little bit too on the nose, and I'm not sure that like all the AEW fans were really on board with things going that far. I don't know if they were or if they weren't. I just think it's in both interests to focus on themselves, you know. Dropkick by Dallas wasn't fired though, was he? I don't recall Bo Dallas being fired. I remember Curtis Axel was fired, but I can't remember Bo Dallas being on that list. I think there's no mistake. AEW makes too many WWE references. That's fine. Yeah, if you feel that way. Daze, what is your AEW dream match? I think it's hard with a dream match because I feel like they give us a lot of matchups. I mean, you'd have to say Young Bucks Revival, which is a no-brainer. I suppose Kenny and Hangman are going to turn eventually. That'll be really cool. I don't know, man. Outside of that, it's difficult. It's difficult. Feel free to let me know what is your dream AEW dream match. Perhaps there's some combinations that I'm just not thinking of. I don't think Bo Dallas was released. Yeah, I don't think he was either. I could be wrong. AEW hardcores have a lot of bot accounts, says James Webb. Bray Wyatt, The Fiend, NXT title championship. I don't know if that character works as well in NXT. I don't know. Maybe that's a little bit more of what the NXT needs to start doing. I think, honestly, there is a number that we know when it comes to hardcore fans. I think, realistically, you can get about 600,000 hardcore fans. Like, NXT should never go below that number. That is hardcore fans that know of Impact, know of these superstars, you know, Karrion Kross, and they know of New Japan, they know of Kushida, they know of Stardom, you know. I think it's fair to say there's about 600,000 that will tune in, and that's their base. Now, if NXT wants to get above that, if NXT wants to go into the 700, 800, 900, a million, then they're going to need to attract people that aren't as knowledgeable. They're going to need to attract more of that casual fan base that we keep talking about. It's no surprise that when they went and get, you know, the likes of Bayley and Sasha, the number, you know what I mean? That's when they were beat in AEW. So that, because they were bringing in all those Sasha stands and Bayley stands on top of their hardcore wrestling fans. So my initial reaction is The Fiend doesn't work in NXT, but maybe I have to start changing that mindset. Perhaps I have to start thinking that they should now start going that way if they want to start going above 600,000. AEW Dark versus NXT Dark. AEW 7, says Heather. Daze, United have pulled out of the race for Sancho. It's been confirmed. Will Hangman turn on Kenny and drop the belts to FTR? I hope not. I want it to be a case where FTR versus Kenny and Hangman. I'd love for that to be a proper match, because it would be an incredible match. Have FTR win clean, and then have Hangman turn on Kenny. That would make sense. But I wouldn't want it to be a case that match ends because of Hangman turning on Kenny mid-match or something, you know? Or Hangman walks away or something like this, you know? Because I think FTR deserve to have that moment where they won the belts, you know? They deserve the titles. They did enough to have their hands raised, so... NXT's at commercial break right now. AEW is, I think, at commercial break, because I've got images, but I've got no commentary, so I think we are at commercial break at the moment. NXT needs a star name to appear on its show in like an opening segment, yeah. Or a challenge, yeah, that would be good. Just Kevin Owens comes down and is just like, so this is where it's at. This is what the buzz is in the locker room when it comes to Raw on a Monday. Everyone's saying, like, NXT's on fire. Well, let's see what you got. Bring someone out. That would be cool. That would wake things up, yeah. Kevin Owens, open challenge coming down, then see where we go from there. What if Kevin Owens came down, right, did that first week, and then, like, second week said something like, I'm gonna up the stakes, right? Because I'm sick of hearing about how great this place is, so I'm gonna up the stakes. Tune in next week and you'll see what I mean. Next week comes, Kevin Owens comes out again. And then he can grab a mic and be like, right, I'm going to give up my spot on Raw. I'm going to give up my spot on Raw. But only to whoever beats me. Because I don't think anyone here beats me. I don't even think I have to break a sweat to beat everyone here. So I'm going to give 5 people an opportunity. 5 people an opportunity starting this week. Next person to come down can have a match right now. And on the line is my Raw spot. So he faces someone, beats them. Comes back next week, faces them, beats them. Comes back next week, faces someone else, beats them. Comes back next week, You get to the 5th and final defense. Everyone's going to be like, who's going to come out? And will they beat him? And it's just a great way of having Kevin on the show. There's something on the line every single week. You don't know if this is the week when someone might beat him. There's actually something at stake. I think that's a really good way of booking it. Could it get a little samey, maybe? Would you want to take it to 3 instead of 5? Yeah, you could have that conversation. You know what I mean? Like, as you're booking it and looking at it. But I think it would definitely give you a good segment each week. Good match as well, with some at stake and a bit of star power. Standing moonsault by Luchasaurus 2. No. Right, we've got Damian Priest and Bronson Reed underway on NXT. We are back there. Over on AEW, we've got this match underway as well, with Luchasaurus in the ring. Kyoto was fired and he needed a job, says Heather. Against the ropes goes Luchasaurus. He gets his leg tangled on the top rope. Kenny. Knee strike to the back by Kenny. Dragon suplex. Nice. So Kenny in there with Luchasaurus. Damian Priest with a nice springboard salt. Boring NXT tonight, says Ryan. Daze, what's your favourite AEW rivalry? Well, I do like what they're doing with Kenny and Hangman. I don't know if you'd say it's a rivalry at the moment, but I think it's been very good. The slow burn, you know. It's good long-term storytelling. So they're very good because they're doing by Kenny, who goes for the pin too. Kick out by Luchasaurus. Over on NXT, Damian Priest gets suplexed by Bronson Reed. I do like Bronson Reed. He's a very impressive big guy, and I think Damian Priest's good as well. But the only problem is that you put them both in a match together, and it's not a match that, like, I mean, look at the crowd. There's so much wrong with NXT. They give you a shot of the crowd, and honestly, the guy's like, couldn't look less enthusiastic if he tried. The crowd looked like they're being held hostage on NXT. The crowd looked like they're walkers from The Walking Dead. Oh, they're just desperately trying to get out. Oh, just banging on the plexiglass. Oh, God. Come on, man. Just give us some energy. They're wrestling in a black void. You got walkers banging on the plexiglass. A botch by the two wrestlers in the ring as Damian Priest tries to roll out the way but still gets splashed by Bronson Reed anyway. It's just, I don't know what's going on, man. I don't know what's going on with NXT. It's just completely, the wheels are falling off in front of our eyes. Bronson Reed gets the victory over on AEW. Tornado DDT by Jungle Boy. Marco's stunt is being picked up. Carried across the ring. Stunt in the air. Thrown on top of Kenny Omega. Luchasaurus has got Hangman. He plants Hangman down looking for the pin. 2. Kick out. Kick out. Daze, who has been promoted to the Premier League? I can't remember. I think it's Leeds, West Brom and Fulham. I think. Jungle Boy 1, 2. Kenny makes the save. Luchasaurus gets thrown over the top. You got a little vignette for Io Shirai. We had a little vignette earlier for Dakota Kai. Dakota Kai is acting like she's a big star. But until she betrayed Tegan Nox, no one even knew who Dakota Kai was. Fair play. Dakota is a manipulator. She uses people and gets rid of them once she is done. Tegan Nox. When I see Dakota Kai, I could only see the cute girl that was terrified of Shayna Baszler. I remember that. I liked that. Just like Shayna Baszler. After TakeOver, she will also be terrified of me. I think this is a great promo by Io, and it's a really great way of presenting it because she's kind of like on top of a building, and they've got subtitles. And it's all, well, I think she's on top of a building. She looks moody, man. But you know that she won't be presented that way on Raw or SmackDown because that doesn't fit Vince's style. That's not how Vince will want to present her. So I do worry about Io when she goes to the main roster. But that was great. Fair play. That was a great promo by Io. Love what she was saying there. Last call. Wins it. Kenny and Hangman retain. We've got Casey Catanzaro, Kaden Carter, and Aaliyah and Mercedes Martinez in a women's tag match coming up on NXT. So NXT goes to commercial break. Over on AEW, the champions retain. Santana and Ortiz have got, I'm guessing this is the best friends stuff. They're opening it out into the shower. And they're tipping bleach over it. And they really want you to know it's bleach. Because in big letters on the front, it says bleach. I bet they stole that bleach from Sue as well. I bet that was Sue's bleach. And I think AEW has gone to commercial break as well. We're probably around about 10-15 minutes away from the main events. If Io went to the main roster, I think she should team up with Asuka. Vince will not go with the subtitles, and he will stop her push straight away. Cornette will never, ever run out of show material. Can we change face to something else? Like, are they good so they are a face? I don't know what you're referring to. Daze, would you like Mattel to make a Dominic figure? I don't mind. I don't mind. I'd like to see a bit more of him in ring first before we start doing figures and whatever. But Daze told me in a DM that he does not like Asuka. Chris says, no more drinking tonight, William. Chalmers says, what match surprised you in terms of quality most this year? Maybe the Rhea match, because as I said earlier in this stream, I had reservations about her, and certainly when it came to submissions, and she lost that match due to the figure eight. I remember watching that WrestleMania match saying, don't you dare get out of this figure eight. Don't you dare get out of this figure eight. This match has been amazing. Don't you dare no-sell this figure eight. And she didn't. And it was awesome. And that match got universal praise as a result. So I think the Fight Pit match was a real eye-opener as well. I think that was great. Didn't know what to expect from it. But Timothy Thatcher, Matt Riddle did awesome in that. I don't know. I kind of feel like the matches that you think are going to be great don't always deliver, but tend to deliver, you know? I can't think of a match that surprised me. Again, feel free to let me know if there's a match that surprised you this year. A match that you're like, oh, I'm really not sure about this, but it turned out to be great. I can't think of too many examples of that. I can't think of Bailey Tamina. I know that was a pay-per-view match, maybe Money in the Bank, and I'm not saying that it was like mind-blowing, but I remember it being a hell of a lot better than what I was expecting. What match has been the most underrated match? I think Finn versus Johnny in Portland. It was a good match. Is it underrated? I don't know. The Funhouse match I didn't expect, but it was really good to me, says Austin316. In the ring, look, we've got FTR, we got the Young Bucks, we got the Rock and Roll, and we got Arn and Tully. Yeah. Arn and Tully and the Rock and Roll Express. I'm looking at their shirts, man. The Rock and Roll shirts look awesome. To me, the Rock and Roll Express are the original Young Bucks. Marty getting a mention. Marty getting a mention. Marty Jannetty gets a mention. This must be really cool for the Young Bucks, and all credit to him. I love it. I love it. Here's FTR. Yeah. Goes a lot deeper. This is something that WWE should do. How can you hate on this? How can you hate on current teams paying respect to those that came before? Educating younger fans now that, you know what I mean? Younger fans might be like, what? They were like the Young Bucks. And they might go onto YouTube, check out a little bit of Rock and Roll. It's all good, man. Tag team. So, I don't know where this is leading. Right, hang on. What we got on NXT? We got Robert Stone Brand. Is he trying to recruit Casey? Casey stomps on the leg of Robert Stone. Silly. Daze, you should watch the MLS. My favorite team is the FC Dallas. Okay, so I'm about to say a few words. Arn says, Young Bucks have taken tag team wrestling. And what they've done with it is outstanding. Arn says, my hat's off to you. Yeah. This is cool, man. I don't know what we're leading to, but it's really, really cool. This segment is leading to something that says the Gaming Oz is, yeah, I get that feeling. 8-man tag. Can Arn and Tully still go? Tully! Tully's got a few words. You don't want to start nothing that you can't finish. Rock and Roll can still go. They were going on NWA. What makes you a great tag team? If you had the belts around your waist, then you could talk about being the baddest and the best. Neither of you are the champions. Oh, he is. He's getting a bit... Look, Arn's like, calm down, mate. Double A's like, whoa. Now he's having a go. He's having a pop at Arn now. I'm going. Here's Sean Spears is creeping out. So I think as whoa, hello. What do you think the third person in Triple Threat is? I'm not sure. Sean Spears has come in. We've got stuff happening here. He's taking off a knee brace here. Dax of FTR. Sean's trying to lead Tully away. Arn had already walked away. This tag team appreciation thing's broken down. Whoa! FTR attacking Rock and Roll. FTR attacking Rock and Roll. Oh, no way. Man, I tell you what, the Rock and Roll takes some bumps on this show. Wasn't it Santana and Ortiz that like powerbombed them through the entrance stage? Every time AEW ring up Rock and Roll, they must be like, we're busy. Because every time they come on, they get beaten up. Paige has come down with a drink. He can't believe it. Although, in fairness, he's probably seen about several FTRs. Well, look at that. Amazing. Didn't know what it was leading to. I didn't expect FTR to attack the Rock and Roll Express. What's that building to? Here's Mike Chioda. How was it, Mike? Here's Jericho. Kiki. I made a few calls to save your job, says Jericho. You're one of the best in the business. So, Jericho saying, do the right thing, Mike. And Mike says, I'm going to call it down the middle. Maybe I'll get you a job back. This is good, man. This is good. Kiki. Mike Chioda's like, I'm going to call it down the middle. Mike Chioda. Yeah, that's good. The segment with the Rock and Roll was great. It was really good. We've got Sammy coming out with his cards. I honestly, sitting here right now, I can't remember a week. That has been this one-sided. I think that AEW has absolutely destroyed NXT. I think it's destroyed it. I can't remember a week where I'm basically sitting here just watching so much of one show, but they've done such a good job, AEW. They've done such a good job. They've absolutely ruined NXT. Is NXT on tonight, says Escobar. I know. No is the answer. UFC 253, I'm excited. R. Dale says, not only is AEW outdoing NXT, they outdid Raw as well. It's a shame that Mike was released from WWE. I agree. Ryan Reynolds says AEW has crushed it. Jay says that segment was great. Now, what is happening with Paige and Brody? AEW has destroyed NXT's run by Vince. I don't know what's happening with Paige and Brody, because Brody seems to have turned his attention to Cody now. So, I don't know. I don't know that anything's happening. Mercedes Martinez gets the pin. She also gets a kiss from Aaliyah. Aaliyah kissed a girl and she likes it. Jumping around. Welcome to Wrestling Days weekly AEW stream. Well, look, we call it as we see it. This isn't me giving up on NXT or anything, but I have to call it how I see it. And AEW doing an excellent job this week. Rhea Ripley making her way out, though. Can Rhea Ripley grab my attention? Rhea Ripley. It's great. I love that screen. The screen looks really cool. You just had Rhea Ripley like slowly turning her head around, staring. It was really cool. Mercedes Martinez in the ring. I can't see what Rhea Ripley's t-shirt is. What's her t-shirt? Tucker. What is it? Duck underneath. She looks great with blonde hair as well, though. Short blonde hair really suits Rhea Ripley. Big strikes coming in. Mercedes Martinez in the corner. Aaliyah comes in. Gets pushed out the way by Mercedes Martinez. Mercedes Martinez just wants to go. Aaliyah's coming in as well. Here's Shotzi. Shotzi, obviously not in her wrestling attire. If you heard the news about her car getting broken into, all of her wrestling gear was stolen as well. So Shotzi's come running down. She's in Converse. She's in denim shorts. But yeah, her boots, wrestling gear, her helmet, everything has been stolen from Shotzi, which is awful. Leah, what's Leah jumping around for? Right, we've got Hikaru Shida. Now, I don't know what this is. Let's keep an eyes out for this. What's happening? Unless, is there someone in the ring already? Oh. Her opponent is Heather Monroe. Hikaru. Why do I know Heather Monroe? Is she? Have I seen her before in WWE? That's a name that I recognise, and I don't know why. Well, there we go. Hikaru Shida versus Heather Monroe. Right, we've got Johnny and Candice at home. Johnny's up a ladder. And he's got that picture of Doc Hendricks on the wall. Why is he standing up a ladder? That thick boy guy. As talented as they are. I don't know why they do this weird promo style. Like, I like what he's got to say, and some of his lines are good, but what is it with that? And it all goes dark, and they put a filter on the screen, and I don't know. Ridge may be strong, but he's not Johnny Gargano. Having all the AEW women matches on Dark isn't enough. I think Heather Monroe might have been in NWA. Oh, okay. Okay. It's definitely a name it resonates with me. Good night, Doc. They've got... Candice has got a pink tracksuit. Johnny's got a blue one. It says Power Couple on the back. Up next, Kushida versus Cameron Grimes versus... We're going to find out, aren't we? Who do you think the third person's going to be? I think it's Vince. Doug Hendricks is a plane ride idol. I don't know if he would agree. I don't think he's got fond memories of the plane ride. Of course, he had his hair cut, didn't he? Shida wins. Hikaru Shida. She couldn't get it. She couldn't get a kendo stick. She went that way, couldn't get it. Went under the ring, couldn't get it. Had to go back to try and get it. She couldn't grab it. Bless. Question mark on NXT confirmed. The Miz is Tony and Shida. It's a new comedy show that's coming to Netflix. Tony and Shida. Bring it on. Jake the Snake Roberts in the dressing room with Lance. Lance beating up a few people in the locker rooms whilst Jake talks. Did you tell them, Jake? Why is he ripping his shirt off? Why have they done that? Okay, that was silly. They wrote "Everybody Dies" on the back of Jake. Why? I don't know why. I do feel that with some of these promos for AEW, there just needs to be a little bit of quality control. Do you know what I mean? Like, it didn't need to go that way. It didn't need to write "Everybody Dies" on Jake the Snake's back and then rip his shirt off, and it still felt weird. I don't know what's going on. I don't know what's happening in the world. Where is Damian, Lucifer, and Revelations? Oh, I've deleted that now. I've deleted it now. Question mark, question mark, question mark. Versus Cameron Grimes. Oh my god. Cameron Grimes. Versus FTR versus Private Party on August 22nd. Who's the other person? I can't remember. Kushida. I hope Kushida wins. Daze, they definitely need a new quality control department. I know. Hey, look, the show's been good. The show's been really good. It's been way better than what NXT has delivered. But it's just moments like that where you just go, what? Why have you done that? Why have you done that? Triple H, the evolution of the game. You can actually get a record that's coming out on August the 18th, of vinyl, limited edition. Pre-order it now at WWE Shop. And I think it's going to have all of his favourite hits on there. Oh, Mickey, you're so fine. You're so fine. You blow my mind. Hey, Mickey. I think that's on there. Timothy Thatcher. And there's someone wearing a Finn Balor t-shirt. Single leg crab. You see the man? I do like these. I wish they would do more of these. You need to learn to adapt. I would definitely, quite happily sit and watch Timothy Thatcher doing like some wrestling training. Properly wrestling training. Just on the network. Doesn't need to be anything. Just on the network. Just for like wrestling fans. People that want to... I think that'd be fascinating. I think it'd be brilliant. And it'd be great for his character as well. And it's free programming. Easy to do. Just chuck it up onto the network. Orange Cassidy rolling into the ring. Keep rolling. Second chance qualifying match next week. Johnny Gargano versus Ridge Holland. Finn Balor versus... Question mark. We don't know. We don't know yet. Because we're going to find out tonight. Jericho versus Orange Cassidy is coming up next. Yes. Boom. Right, we've got Keith Lee outside wiping his eyes. Has he gone to a medical facility? For more information, go to WWE.com. If you are concerned about Keith Lee after that explosion went off at the start of tonight's show, then go to WWE.com. Kushida making his way out. I don't even care who the mystery person is. Kushida should win this. About time they did something with Kushida. He's a big star, man. He's a great talent. Kushida making his way down. Can you even see through those glasses? I've got no idea if you can see through those glasses. They do legit just look like you can't see through them. You must be able to. Virginia Brunette says, my grandson, London Askew, asked for me to give you this. Shout out to Virginia Brunette and, of course, the legend that is London Askew. Hope you are well, London Askew. Hope you are well. Shout out to you as Cameron Grimes is making his way down. Thank you to Virginia. Thank you to London as well. Have you recorded Wrestling Escape Pod? Yes. Dynamite moving to Thursday and Saturday at 6. Well, that'll be better, wouldn't it? That'll be good. Not having the two collide. Cameron Grimes to the moon. Well, Cameron Grimes making his way down. Oh, we're going to the moon, baby. Yeah, my name is Cameron Grimes. Ugh. Right, who is Mysterio? That's what I want to know. Right. Jericho in the ring. Demo God signs. They're showing a few shots of the people in the bleachers. Yeah, they don't know who the third opponent is, and we don't know who the third opponent is. Here we go. I don't know who the third opponent is. They're milking this. There's no giveaways yet as to who this person is. We've just got a swirl of colours. It's all gone... Oh, it's Velveteen? It is Velveteen? Wow. Velveteen Dream has returned. Well, that must be good news in regards to the fact that he had those allegations against him. I can't imagine. We all thought that he was going to get called up to the main roster, but then obviously all the allegations came out, and it must be that there's nothing in those allegations. Because those were serious allegations as well. Got to the point where there was rumours Velveteen Dream was on the verge of being let go. So I would think that they've been investigated. He's not been on TV for quite a while. So Velveteen Dream in this match. Bigger than I was expecting. I didn't expect a name of that size. Does that mean the allegations were false? Well, I would think that it definitely leans that way. Yeah, those allegations were so serious that I cannot even begin to imagine that WWE just ignored it. honestly think that they must have looked into it. And in fact, I think even Velveteen Dream said that he was getting legal people involved into it. So it's been away for a little while. I haven't heard anything about it. I'm sure there'll be some news reports that come out. But yeah, I think you'd have to say that it looks pretty good. Back elbow by Cameron Grimes. So we are underway. That is big. So we're underway with two big main events here. We've got Orange Cassidy and Chris Jericho. Mike Chioda is the ref. Over on NXT, we've got the return of Velveteen Dream. We know who's winning this triple threat. Wow, it's very interesting. DDT by Orange Cassidy. Big strike by the Velveteen Dream. I loved Lance Archer ever since New Japan, says Heather. It was neat to have a mystery person, but back to real wrestling. Let's go Jericho. Velveteen Dream goes out the ring. I don't think there's any denying AEW is going to get the bigger rating here because they've been building up this Jericho Orange Cassidy match for a good number of weeks. Big back body drop by Jericho. Kushida's dealt with Velveteen Dream. We've only got 10 minutes left. We're running out of time. Ringside News and Fightful are reporting that he would come back to NXT. They were right. Dream is having a nightmare with his beard goatee, says Max. James says, clearly those accusations were beep. Otherwise, he would not come back. Need to change the... Oh, yeah. Change that over to Velveteen Dream. Boop, 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 boop. There we go. Velveteen Dream. Wow. I really, really hope it means that those allegations were all a load of rubbish. He came out and said they were. But it didn't look great because there was some supporting evidence. Right, we are at commercial break for NXT. Velveteen just looks shady, says Imtiaz. I'm happy that Dream is back, says Chase. Expect Brian Alvarez to come out with some misleading news tomorrow, says James. Where's the proof the allegations were fake, though? Lawyers can save you from even mass murder. Can only go by what we see. He said that they were fake. And I would have to think that it has been looked into. So, as we said, you know, Velveteen Dream said that he was getting the authorities in to clear his name on it. And he's been away for a long time. I don't know. I don't think we've seen him since In Your House, Takeover in Your House. In that match against Adam Cole, so... You'd have to think that NXT have looked into it and are happy that there's nothing to it. Anyway, NXT's gone to commercial break. We're still underway with Jericho and Orange Cassidy. I think we are at commercial break, but on Fight we can still see the action as Jericho picks up Orange Cassidy. Quite a weird standing vertical suplex. Orange Cassidy didn't really take it that well. He was kind of like spaced out a little bit. But Jericho still hits it. Think about it. His accusers went to Reddit instead of the police. I don't believe those allegations, says 1987 Big Fan. Why would you have to think it's been looked into? What do you know about allegations of soliciting sex from minors / Vince's history with that sort of thing? Well, I would think that it would have to be looked into because it was such a serious, such a public allegation that... And also Velveteen Dream was seemingly on the verge of a call-up to the main roster. And WWE won't touch that. and rightfully so. You know, I mean, that's the they're not going to bring him up if they don't. If he's not on the main roster and he's on the verge of getting called up and everything, they're not gonna move him up. They're not gonna use him if those allegations were true. And they'd kind of got to a point where he could go away for a little bit and they could get it sorted. And because he's been away for so long, I have to believe that they have looked into it. I don't know that. I wasn't expecting Velveteen Dream tonight. I've not heard any further developments on this. I can only tell you what I know. And that is that allegations were made and that Velveteen Dream denied them. He came out, said they were fake. And that he was going to get lawyers and get people to look into it. And then he went away for a while and now seemingly is back. Velveteen against the ropes. Kushida is down. Velveteen clothesline. Cameron Grimes goes up over the top. Velveteen up top. Double axe handle. Cameron Grimes goes down. Orange Cassidy is climbing up Jericho, trying to get to his feet. Jericho in control in his match against Orange Cassidy. We've got 6 minutes left. Double axe handle by the Dream. Big boot by the Dream. Orange Cassidy just throwing in some very weak strikes here. Typical Orange Cassidy offense. Orange Cassidy. Super kick. Down goes Jericho. He was playing a little possum. Cassidy against the ropes. Big clothesline. Jericho goes down. Given how WWE are protective over their name and how they always are ready to wipe out the existence of shady stars, Velveteen had to have gotten cleared. Kushida up top, comes crashing down onto the Dream. To the outside, Cameron Grimes going over to Kushida, chucks him into the ring. Orange Cassidy starting to come back here in this match. It's hard to know where to watch. Both matches going at quite a quick pace now. Orange Cassidy hurled into the turnbuckle. Big boot by Orange. Gets caught by Jericho, who turns it into a walls. Armbar by Kushida on Cameron Grimes. He's got the armbar. Is Velveteen going to come in? Velveteen. Oh, Velveteen comes crashing down and Kushida catches his arm as well. Is that Kimura? Kimura, but back body drop, roller. Orange Cassidy's getting out of the walls. Little small package, couldn't get it. Yeah, Velveteen is having a little bit of a nightmare with that little beard he's got. And I know all about beard nightmares. I'm living one. So I am in a position to say. Ankle lock by Orange Cassidy. Double stomp by Cameron Grimes. Cameron Grimes pushes Velveteen Dream out the ring. 2. Wow, it's Cameron Grimes that's got the win. What are they doing with Kushida? What are they doing with Kushida? Kushida, one of the biggest stars in New Japan, losing out to Cameron Grimes. Cameron Grimes is all right, but he's not someone that sets the world on fire for me. Are they going to build towards Velveteen Dream versus Kushida in a one-on-one match? Could that be something we're about to get now? Well, there we go. Slaps by Jericho. Orange Cassidy down. This match still carrying on. Jericho grabbing Floyd the back. tell you what, Velveteen Dream looks like Dwayne Dibley. Dwayne Dibley? Oh, I need to find a picture of Dwayne Dibley. So, Mike Chioda not allowing... Yes. Dwayne Dibley getting into the ring. Two. Just the two for Orange Cassidy. And now Dwayne Dibley is attacking Kushida. Yeah. Oh, there we go. Look, Dwayne Dibley's here. Oh, man. Inner Circle have come down on AEW. Dwayne Dibley is standing tall. Absolute scenes. So I can see us building towards Dwayne Dibley against Kushida. Oh, Balor's here. Balor's here. So it's going to be Balor against Dwayne Dibley next week. That's cool, isn't it? That's going to be a really good match. Balor pointing at Dwayne Dibley. Wow. Orange Cassidy rolling up. Jericho Cassidy gets it. We had a lot of messing around in this match, but Cassidy picking up the dub. Jericho is shocked. Jericho is... can't believe it. Mike Chioda holds up Orange Cassidy's arm. Well, there we go. There we go. Get your scores in for both shows. Balor Dream next week is going to be amazing, yes. Balor Dream next week is going to be amazing. Three people have now pinned Le Champion. Heel turn. Velveteen Dream versus Brock. Here we go. Here come the scores. Here come the scores. AEW 10, NXT 2. AEW 8.5, NXT 6.25, NXT 6, AEW 7. Future compilation says NXT 6.75, AEW 7.5. Jeremy, shout out to you. Brony, NXT 6.5. Oh man, the scores are really firing in now. Troy gives NXT an 8. Allie gives NXT a 6. Brony 6.5. Christian NXT 7. Chase Jordan with a 7. Matt gives AEW a 9.5. NXT 6.5. AEW 7.5. Ardale says AEW 8.5. NXT who? Lone Star Friend says AEW 7.5. Jono says NXT 6.25, AEW 8.5. The Gaming Oz says an 8 for AEW tonight. It was a great show. John says NXT was a 7.5. Your boy says NXT was a 7.2. Pro Skills says AEW 7.75, NXT 7.5. Big Boy Dally says NXT was a 7. AEW was an 8.75. Tell you, a lot of love for AEW tonight. Jay says AEW 8.5, NXT 6.25. NXT 7.5, AEW was a 6. Oh, Chris, you're the first person all night I have seen that has scored NXT higher than AEW. First person all night. AEW 8, NXT 6, says Phil. Pablo Gamer, shout out to you. Who do you think will win, Balor or Dream? I wonder if there'll be a no contest. I wonder if one will go to a draw or something and then they end up... I don't know. Can't quite call it. I should imagine Kushida is going to get involved. What if we get Balor versus Velveteen Dream versus Kushida or something? Don't know. I can't quite call it. I've got a feeling that it'll be a... I can't quite call it. AEW 8, NXT 8, NXT 9.5. Damian Robinson, shout out to you. AEW a 5 for that ending. Jim Cornette's going to have a heart attack. Well, let me give you my thoughts. My thoughts are Mike Chioda was a great surprise. I think that a lot of the matches delivered for AEW. I think like the MJF promo was a touch strange. I didn't really like the fact it was like he always comes out from there. Go on, Wardlow, everyone go there. He always comes from there. So straight away, like, he's going to come from behind. And then he came from behind. And then like the Jake the Snake right in was a little bit weird. The matches were pretty decent throughout. But I don't know if there was too many, like, OMG moments. Do you know what I mean? Like, I kind of feel that Mike Chioda was a big moment. The TNT title being finished, but then being shown before the show started. I don't know why they did that. I don't know. So, I kind of feel like NXT was solid. Not really anything amazing. I'd give it a 7.5. So, pretty good. Pretty solid. I did like FTR attacking Rock and Roll. But, wow, I just think NXT all night just kept punching itself in the face. I really feel like NXT, for whatever reason, I've said, I can't remember a week where there was such a gap. And I really feel like this week there is one of the most obvious gaps I've seen between the two shows. I think the little explosion thing was just a bit strange. It certainly wasn't a moment that was like, oh, did you see that? It wasn't that at all. Not even freaking close. Then we went to like Drake Maverick against Killian Dane, and even NXT didn't care about that match because they had Undisputed Era come down. But that doesn't make any sense because Pat McAfee's the heel. I mean, he's the one that's, you know, causing all this trouble and is saying that he's going to do a better job than Tyson Fury did, and he's doing a lot of heel stuff. But who's the heel? Because now you've got Adam Cole and Undisputed Era attacking people. So now I don't even know who the heel and who the face is. I don't know. I don't know what's happening with that match. So that was all a little bit strange. And then I suppose the Velveteen Dream thing was a nice surprise at the end. And the fact they're building towards Finn Balor and Velveteen Dream was cool. Rhea Ripley coming down, I suppose, was cool. So there's a few things in that second hour that has saved NXT for me. But by and large, I'm gonna be kind to NXT. This is me being kind. 6.75 is me being really kind to NXT. I think there was a very definite difference between these two shows. A very definite difference. But I've been kind and I've not laid into NXT because I'll tell you, halfway point, I was around a 5 for NXT. But I think that was a decent main event. I think that Velveteen Dream was a nice surprise. I think Rhea Ripley coming down was cool. And I'm excited for Finn Balor Velveteen Dream for next week. So for those reasons, it's gained some points in that second hour. But honestly, I was on course for this being a horrible episode of NXT. Horrible after that first hour. So there we go. For me, I think that AEW has won this week in regards to show quality. But of course, Some of you out there may disagree. I think the majority of people agree, though, this week. As I said, most people that I saw, the scores had it higher for AEW this week. But there we go. I mean, it is what it is. It is what it is. Let's go to the chat for a final few moments. AEW 7.5, NXT 6, says Monica King. So there we go. I mean, I did say that I was being super kind. I did say I was being super kind. Jesse Callin, happy birthday to you, my friend. William Hensey, kind enough to let us know before the stream even started. William Hensey, letting us know that it was your birthday. So I didn't see, I haven't been on Twitter too much today. So, but yeah, happy birthday to Jesse Callin, Callin Corner, great friend of the channel, who is 14 today. Happy birthday. Happy 14th birthday, Jesse, the 14-year-old Callin. Happy birthday. Jake says, NXT 6.75. I'm a huge AEW fan. I prefer it, but NXT was 10 times better. But that's fair. You're allowed your opinion. All I can tell you is that what I saw, I thought that it just kept misfiring tonight. I really thought it was off the pace, and good chunk. Wow, I would say 99% of the people, when they put their scores in, said the same thing, that AEW was far and away the better show this week. So honestly, I think that NXT, I don't know what's happening. I don't know if they're under pressure. I don't know if it's Vince having a word because of the ratings. I don't know if it's, they've tried a few things and it's backfired and they just can't put AEW away. I don't know if they've got new writers. I don't know if they're forcing themselves to try some new stuff, but they prided themselves on really great wrestling before, and you still get that to a degree, but they're starting to go down some really weird roads now. That little explosion thing at the start was very strange. I mean, the Pat McAfee thing is very strange for NXT. Bringing in a football player to boost ratings is something that the main roster would do with Gronk at WrestleMania. It's not something that you get from NXT. So I don't know if this is NXT having an identity crisis. We've said so many times. I don't know if NXT is developmental or if it is a third brand. We get told it's a third brand, but then equally we sit here and we watch people that are clearly learning their craft, like Aaliyah. Aaliyah is not ready to be on Raw and SmackDown. And Ridge Holland, who's just come over from NXT UK. Do you know what I mean? Like, they're learning their craft. Same with Cameron Grimes learning his craft. And it's where people, Indy Hartwell on the show as well. So it's kind of got all these new fresh faces as a developmental brand. But then equally, it's trying to compete with AEW, and they're trying to balance the two, and they're really struggling, in my opinion. Really, really struggling. 5 minutes till Insiders, says Sunny Wolf. We'll be done. NXT is missing a lot of those European stars. That's a part of the problem. Imagine if they could add Pete Dunne and Volta and Tyler Bate. Those are the names that NXT needs. Those are NXT UK talents, other than Pete Dunne. Pete Dunne did move over to NXT because he was in that tag team with Matt Riddle, but I'm not sure that Volta or Tyler Bate have. I think they're still technically NXT UK. So they may bring them in, but they're not names that you would see every single week, in all honesty. But Pete Dunne definitely is, and Pete Dunne definitely would help. And I think they'd just moved over Jordan Devlin, which is why they'd put that Cruiserweight Championship on him. And obviously we've not had him around either. So there is definitely some names that can come over and give it a little bit of a push. But I do think the problems go deeper than that. Did Kushida win? Sadly not. What's Imperium doing? Imperium are... Wow. I think that Imperium are NXT UK, but they put the titles on the two guys that are... I don't know if they're stuck in America. I don't know what's happening with Eichner and Bartel, because they must have been in America before the international flights shut down. So it must be that they were there. And so they've been able to use them. But we've not had Volta and we've not had Alexander Wolf because I don't think they were in America at the time. So I think Imperium are still NXT UK. But they've got these two guys in America during this lockdown that they can use. And so they've used them. But I don't know that the long-term plan is to move Imperium over to NXT. I think they're still NXT UK. Shout out to Plush Galaxy 101. Daze, you and I had the same scores tonight. NXT 6.75, AEW 7.5, says Chalmers. And that was me being kind. I want to emphasise this. I could have gone hard on NXT tonight, but I didn't. Who won the triple threat? It was Cameron Grimes. Adam Davidson, shout out to you, my friend. It is in Pen Pasta. Thanks for the stream. You are welcome. Right. I think we are done. Texas Ranger fan, shout out to you, my friend. Hope you are well. Durante, do you know this is... yes, it was... I think you mentioned it earlier, Durante. Right. Insiders coming up, so we are going to say goodbye. Thank you to everyone that joined us. Wednesdays, as we said, not my favourite streams because it's harder to watch two shows and... you know, we have a really good laugh with Raw and SmackDown that's just, you know, come up with some absolutely crazy stuff. You don't tend to get such madness on a Wednesday. Maybe from AEW, they give you a few mad moments. Not so much with NXT, although saying that, who knows, looking at a contract and it explodes in your face these days. So maybe NXT is going to start to get a little bit wackier. So, yeah, not my favourite stream of the week, but still plenty to talk about. And I hope you had a fun time joining us anyway. So, thank you all very, very much. We are back tomorrow for a classic watch-along. We're going to watch SummerSlam 2005, which is Hulk Hogan versus Shawn Michaels and other things. So, we're going to watch that tomorrow. On Friday, we've got SmackDown. And then on Saturday, we have got the massive UFC 2-5. No, I can't remember the number. I think it's 252. But it is Daniel Cormier against Stipe Miocic for the UFC Heavyweight Championship of the UFC. It's the world as well, but it's the UFC. So, yeah, we've got that. So, absolutely massive stream this Saturday. So, there we go. Awesome, guys. Thanks a lot for watching. And yes, Chalmers, there is a members-only stream tomorrow as well. So, thanks a lot for watching. And hopefully, see you again next time. Bye for now.